Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, good morning. Welcome to the Nielson Show. Tom Gazzola in for Dusty and Lieutenant Eric. Oh, hello.
Hey.
What? Hey.
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 Oh.
Hey, we'll make it work. It was you and I.
Yes.
You and I.
Almost 3 months to the day.
That fateful morning.
When it all went down.
And now look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us now.
We own this place.
Well,
kind of.
The upper floor, not the upper floor, but the room
Yes.
to the right.
Yeah,
not
that's
the whole building, but yeah.
A portion of it.
A portion,
A
yeah,
portion
small
of
portion.
it. A portion of it. Good morning, Nasties. It is the Nielson Show. Tom Gazzola, Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Hauraney, who I'm learning firsthand is not a morning person.
You're really getting the full dose, eh?
But he's been okay.
Well, you know what?
Like, he's had some sly comments, and I thought they were funny.
He's very, shall we say, like he'll crack a joke or make a joke, but there's no, like, it's a very straight delivery.
Yeah.
And I almost find that more funny. I'd like to, if I could, the first conch of the morning for a Friday, going out to one.
Good morning,
That ironic for all the work.
It is the Nielson Show. Tom Gazzola, Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Hauraney, who I'm learning firsthand.
One of your computers is
That's mine,
streaming.
because you know why?
I'm
I'm playing everything off of. We just need to do a little thing here. I'm playing everything off this computer.
Yes.
Yes, used to play it off that thing. So if you want to conch, ask me. I'll conch it.
Yep.
And then you can set them up. I'll knock them down. We'll get through this.
Oh, we will.
We'll find
Trust
a
me.
way. Yeah.
We will. This system right here looks cool. It looks like a little spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good with the technical side of things. I never have been over the course of my career. I'll fix the toilet. I'll fix it.
And you did a hell of a job with
Thank
that
you.
flipper.
It's still
Yeah.
working.
I love it.
2 days later, it's still working. But you give me these sliders with lights and knobby things and buttons and arrows, and I am lost. So, Eric, you'll be playing the music and all the bits off of your
leave
computer.
that alone. Don't look at it. Don't
Yep.
touch it, and we'll leave everything for Dusty when he gets back.
Everything's going to be okay. I also have discovered that he's just an absolute mess. Literally, there's stuff everywhere.
Things change, like us moving buildings and such, but
Yeah.
some things stay the same, such as Dustin's. You know, I don't want to say too much, but you
Well,
know,
I mean,
water bottles.
I'll say it.
and
17 water bottles just scattered all over the
that's
place.
the lack of JMO, though. That's
Exactly.
the JMO effect
Yes.
taking place here.
Yes. So it's a time of discovery for all of us as we wrap week 2 here at Edmonton Sports Talk, which has been great. Join the conversation as always. The nasty chat going strong. JCD780 says Tom's in the power chair. Yeah, it feels strange. Usually I'm there. That's a great chair. You and I'm
Do you prefer a side? Do you have a better?
No, I
you're
know.
a TV
It's
guy.
fine.
I mean,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
probably have a
matter to me.
side. I don't know.
I don't know.
We can switch. We can do half
no.
of the show like this, and then we'll kind of.
That would be confusing.
I am glad though you're on time. That was kind of the.
Thank
That
you.
was the joke around the office yesterday. That.
This is coming up more and more as I'm out and about in public.
But you show up to other events like you're a punctual guy.
I try to be.
by nature, right? Like,
I try to
yeah.
be. But yeah, it's become a good running joke, and I appreciate it.
Well,
but
look, you're driving here
Mm-hmm.
during like a morning rush hour, like right. That you're usually coming here at the time when everybody else is planning to leave to work and such. So
Yes.
I understand traffic's and without a traffic report, how would you know? Which
I miss Pauline Higgins.
I think a lot of
Pauline,
people
if
do.
you're listening, good
A
morning.
lot of people do.
I know. She was great. She was great. And I am disappointed I missed the Nasty Bash in the summer. I was out of town, and Pauline was there. And I heard she's just delightful.
Just breathe so much energy into the room.
Amazing.
You missing that made me cry, but we'll have to have another one. Dusty's
Yes.
been talking about it, either a Nasty Bash or something at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge where I was at last night. I'm telling you, we're going to have a party there. Super Bowl, something great.
Yep.
Whatever big sports event that's coming up next, we'll have to go there and camp out. It's the smoked brisket cheesesteak last night, and that thing was flying around. Everybody was eating it there at the
What
at
put
the
it over the
sports
top?
Cheese. Cheese. Lots of cheese. cheese. The smoked brisket, nice side of fries. The gravy there, great.
Yeah.
But a great time last night. Atif, Trevor Savage, there with his buddy. His buddy went in the draw.
T-Roy was there.
T-Roy
Yeah,
came in,
that.
gave me a little massage on the back, which was nice.
Ooh,
and
lovely.
Stan the Jets fan, shout out to you as well. You and your boy there, met him, Nathaniel.
that.
Great guy. And again, the staff there. Renee was back last night. She took Monday off to watch her Bills lose at home. She wasn't at the bar. So, but a good night overall at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. We'll be back on Monday as well.
I will be joining you at some point. I think I want to make it like a surprise.
Yeah, do that, please.
But I think it'd be cool if we came and visited you.
Well, from now until the end of November, maybe once. That's not too much to
That's
ask,
doable.
right? I think. Right? Silence around.
I'm in.
Hey,
I'm in. I'm looking at Maddie. We both live in the same
cheesesteaks on me.
building.
I
Cheesesteaks
got
on
you
you?
all covered. Cheesesteaks
Okay.
on me, not eating them off of me, but you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
drinks all around. It's a good time.
I love it. I will join you, absolutely. And very cool to be partnered up with Century Casinos. And anytime you're somewhere, it's a good time. You know?
Trying to. And Tube Sucks was here Monday. He actually has a conch request as well. How about a conch for one? Thomas Bartholomew Gazzola for his first time back on the air in 3 months. It's kind of true. I mean, you are the hangout guy.
Yes. Thank you, Tube Socks. I appreciate that very much. You can also message us and send in texts at the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. I'm kind of monitoring both. There's a little bit of a different format.
We
but
will
it's
get
great.
this down eventually,
Yeah.
right? Like who's doing what, but yeah.
Paris Jewelers is Canadian, female, and family-owned with 23 locations across Canada.
That's where Dusty's getting that grill. Or are you going to get the grill?
I'm
Who's
gonna
getting
get the grill.
You're going to get the grill?
Yeah.
I just want a big bracelet. I want a real chunky, heavy.
The one that like
ice.
clangs all the time.
Yeah.
Clangs all the time. That's
Gets
great.
stuck in your arm hair, you know?
Ooh, it would pull. We do have an actual great show for you on this Friday. We'll get to conches, so send in your conch requests either in the Nasty Chat or at the Paris Jewelers inbox. And then at 7, we'll talk with Tim Hauraney. A little bit of racing chat as we head into the Singapore GP. Rod Black, thank you for getting him booked today, Eric. I appreciate that. Full circle.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if we had him scheduled for that show that we...
I don't think so, but it was... I think at some point that week, because I was supposed to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that week.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was no Thursday, Friday. Like, do we owe everyone an extra hour because we missed that last hour on the 14th of June?
Well, we'll make it up. I will be in the hangout today as well.
Yes,
kind of
excellent.
Quasi, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, in terms of making I like how it's really becoming full circle, though. And you had a great, and it went right over my head last night, that text about AJ Jakovic.
Right.
Finishing the conversation or whatever it would be, right? Like, we were going to get to him next. Never happened. He texts, hey, guys, still going on? I was like, well, not really a station to go on anymore, so.
Yeah, if we had a station.
Yeah.
We'll get to AJ Jakovic at some point. But yeah, I thought of it really late, but it would have been kind of funny. It would have been like a bad inside joke, I think. Anyway, we've got Rod Black at 7:40. Kind of easy trivia at 8. 3 questions too many, of course, right after that. Sobeys and Safeway liquor beer of the week with old Redbeard himself. I'm excited for that. And then, of course, we'll wrap things up. Text of the day, all that good stuff. Some prizes to give away today here on The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. And, it's going to be fun. Rookie camp getting underway. I saw the Oilers rookies were at the South Okanagan Events Center. Good and bad memories for me, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that because it was a lot of fun, that trip, but it was also a lot of work doing those broadcasts, which are now behind the Oilers Plus paywall.
Paywall.
Right. Good idea, bad idea? What do you think?
Making money.
That's what it's all
Making
about.
money. People pay, right?
Yeah. So the Oilers rookies in action. This is the season. And next week we'll have medicals and physicals down at Rogers Place. And we'll be off and running with training camp. I'll be down there. I'll be doing some rink reports.
Rink rat. You'll be hanging around.
I'm a rink rat. That's my thing. I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. Let's get to some conches. I read this one earlier. It came in at 5:30. So this texter really wanted to hammer home this point, and comes in via the Paris Jewelers inbox, says, did I hear you say yesterday that Edmonton has the best Donaires? You obviously haven't been to Atlantic Canada. You still serving raw Donaires like they did on White Ave back in the 06 Cup run? Evan from Conception Bay, Newfoundland. So happy you guys are back. Give yourselves a conch for my belly. Laughing back.
Okay,
All right.
wait, yeah.
Hey, I don't know what the Donaires were like on White Ave in 06, and if they were a little bit raw, I feel like they were rushed at whatever Donaire place you went to, Evan.
The only bad episode I've had with street food here at Edmonton is when I moved here in 2010, and you remember our pal Raimai,
yes.
and we go to those wet T-shirt contests at Union Hall?
Union Hall, yeah.
And the little vendor outside with those cut-up hot dogs?
Yeah. Not good?
One night, like and it was the mix of like the Red Bull and sugary.
Were you drinking vodka slimes?
I don't know what, but combined with those cut up hot dogs that they have in the little soup there, never again will I be doing that.
The trick at Union Hall back then was to go around the corner to Queen Donaire.
Yeah. I didn't know. I was new.
Well, you were new to town,
yeah.
so you were just like, "This is great."
Not bliss.
Not bliss.
Oh,
okay.
it was great.
But
it was great going down,
learned.
but yeah, it's not good coming up.
I had a buddy. We'll just call him Victor, because that is his name. No last name. We're just gonna leave it at Victor.
That is his name.
Yes. We were at Union Hall one night, rocking out, having a great time like one does. And Vicky decides to go to Queen Donaire at like 11:30. And we always would ride it out till 2:20, and then we'd get out of there. Vicky picks up 2 jumbos.
2 jumbos.
Eats one quickly at Queen, tucks the other one into his jacket sleeve, and has it with him for when he gets home.
It's a big jacket.
He's a big boy.
Hanging that thing off your forearm.
And he comes in and he gives us the nudge. And you know, like sketchy situations, drug dealers, they kind of like give you the nudge. And they look down and he's like,
what are you talking about?
The nudge. And he's like, "Look, boys." And he peels back his sleeve and there's a jumbo Donaire resting against his forearm.
Sweating in there.
And we're like, "What is wrong with you? You know, we can go back there later if you need a second jumbo Donaire." First of all, you don't need a second jumbo Donaire. Why are you getting one mid-bar session? And why would you bring it in here? And he's like, "Door guy didn't even notice."
He's a big coat. Little man
Wide
in a big
sleeves.
coat with a big Donaire. Can we play the breaking news sounder?
Hit it.
I know. Marshall Ferguson.
Yes.
He was flying yesterday, all day, all night. He finally got back to me. He's going to join us in about 10 minutes.
Oh.
We're going to do it's going to be like a quick CFL rapid fire. It'll be Argos Alouettes go, and then he'll be doing that. So it'll be a nice, I wanted him on. We'll get him on.
What about a conch to that?
I'll call. Thank you to Marshall for getting back to me here. I know it's early morning, but yeah.
Dolphin
that's
Nation,
nice.
yeah, that's great.
nice.
That's a good ad. Dolphin Nation texts in says, "Tom, congrats for being on time, my man. Good start to Friday." Thank you, Dolphin Nation.
Well, this is why you signed up for the Friday shows again. It's Sobeys Liquor Beer of the Week. You wouldn't be late for that, right? I mean, we're all
Never.
Yeah. You know the play here.
I just appreciate Scott Laurie. He's great.
Getting a good dose of Scott once a week, hey?
Yeah, Conch requests. Get them in. I'm watching the Nasty Chat. What do you got?
Well, let me get this right. Huge Wiener is now T-Biscuit. Okay. So we're just getting that out of the way. HW, right? Like
whatever works for you. Whatever works for you.
Morning LT and Tommy Boy. Happy dance party Friday. I conch for my daughter who finally slept through the entire night without waking up.
Nice.
My goodness. Woo. And go Irish. That comes in from Hersey. Congratulations. I'm sure Hersey got a good night's sleep as well.
JCD780 at the Nasty Chat says, "Halifax invented Donaires. Edmonton perfected them."
Well, but
There's a lot
we
of
don't
great
have to. We
Donaire
don't have to
places.
fight. It's like they do it a little differently up there. You go to Britain too. It's a whole new ball game. So it's regional.
Donaires is very subjective.
Yeah.
It's like the cheesesteak thing in Philadelphia. Like
If you brought in some Philadelphia last night to the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, and he got to look at that. Like, he probably, that's...
they'd be like,
but I don't care. Like,
this?
it tastes good.
Yeah.
It's all in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, if,
Exactly.
more cheese, more peppers, please.
Cheese.
Brisket, steak, whatever. Cheese. Yeah. Last night, Blue Jays, they're done. Hey? Or
I mean, you get crushed again.
And you knew it was happening.
9-2.
You knew it
Close
was
one,
happening,
Jays.
right?
They're getting booed every time Texas scores a run. I mean, you lose 4 straight at home in a crucial series against a team that you're in the mix with, and you get outscored 35-9.
they are what they are, right? Like this is it.
Yeah.
And it's why I guess I kind of understand the fans and some texting in saying it was middle of the season summer. Like you knew you had a feeling, Schneider, hot seat, all that, you get ready.
Right.
It's so maybe this is a way of a bit of a protest to say, haha, told you so. Look where you are, and now we're not gonna show. But I don't know. I was talking with a few people last night too at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the NFL Thursday Nighter. But like what when it comes to supporting it, you want to support a team, right?
That's the goal, isn't it?
Thick and thin, through and through, and like this is the time where they really need you, and you're like, nope.
We're out.
I knew you'd suck. Well,
that's
yeah.
It's a far cry from 7 years ago.
Well, and if you would have given this scenario to Jays fans at before the whole, but like before when they were the Jays without the blue, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
the years of nothing. I mean, people would snap your hand off for this opportunity,
right?
Where they're at right now. So I don't know, maybe a little spoiled, Jays Nation or something like that. I don't know. Having trouble putting my finger on. Maybe it's just Toronto. What we've come to expect.
Whole different kind of
Toronto we've come to expect. They want the NFL, but they'll only go to if it's nice.
They're never getting the NFL.
You know what I'm saying? They always want to be there, but they never do anything to justify being there.
Yeah. They're never getting the NFL.
I think that's something we can all agree on. The Donaire thing, that could be. I think we can all
debate for. Yeah. They're not getting the NFL. It's silly. It's
Toronto.
Silly.
Be better.
Be better, Toronto. Get those conch requests in at the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. I'll be keeping tabs on the nasty chat. This is good. This is new. My first time in this chair.
You've been in the nasty chat, though, a few times. Hey, you pop in.
I dip into the nasty chat. I actually quite enjoy the nasty chat. The first thing I do when I wake up on a regular day where I'm not filling in for Dusty is I either go to my living room and pop on YouTube and watch.
Okay.
Or I'll have my laptop in my bedroom and I'll put it on there, or I'll just put my phone on at edmontonsportstalk.com, hit listen live at the top, can't miss it, and comes in clear as day.
You should just get a video feed rolling 24/7 so you can just get in that nasty chat. You just kind of...
Sometimes the nasty chat is all-encompassing.
Get in there,
There's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm still just in the inbox right now. The Paris Jewelers inbox right now is just good enough for me. Right. I'll move on eventually, but...
One more conch request.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Before we head to Marshall Ferguson here for a CFL roundup.
All right. Conch for Friday, and great to be working with you on the show once again.
I love you.
Shake and bake. Sports Center update with Lieutenant Eric.
Let's do a sports update. Well, week 2 in the NFL got underway last night. The Philadelphia Eagles improving to 2-0 with a 34-28 home victory over the Vikings. Kirk Cousins 4 touchdowns in the loss. Minnesota fall to 0-2. You can join me at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road every Monday and Thursday night. Food and drink specials, plus your chance to enter into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Rangers, as mentioned, sweeping aside the Jays last night, 9-2. They take the 4-game set by a combined score 35-9. Just let that sit. Jays now a game and a half back of Seattle for that third and final wild card spot. The Elks visit the Rough Riders tonight, looking to remain in the playoff hunt following Saturday's win over the Stamps. Kickoff 7:30. Elks Riders, the second of a doubleheader tonight in the CFL, as the Alouettes will host the 10-1 Argos. Kickoff 5:30. Sticking with football, U of A Golden Bears, they'll look to improve to 3-0 on the road tonight. They're in Saskatoon to visit the 2-0 Saskatchewan Huskies. Kickoff at 7. Over to hockey, the Oilers open the Young Guns tournament in Penticton tonight, up against the Winnipeg Jets, while the Edmonton Oil Kings preseason schedule will conclude this weekend from Grand Cache. So they'll be playing a pair of games against the Prince George Cougars.
2 guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
2 guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey. Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.623 in Edmonton. Good morning. You're listening to the Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Tom Gazzola in for the big man. He is calling the Elks Riders game tonight. You found some gems with these music beds.
We're trying, hey? Like, we can't...
Yeah. License-free music.
Yeah.
The YouTube element, obviously, which is great.
Yeah. We love Brittany.
We do.
And we can play her in the CD player out in the lobby.
And dance ourselves.
We can dance
Got
ourselves.
Plenty of room for activities over there.
You know?
Yeah.
But
we'll work it, B.
For the purposes of this, yes, we'll make do with... but there's a few bangers. I look forward to kind of listening to the musical library as the show breathes here this morning.
You've got a great ear for a sick beat or two. You can text us at the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. The nasty chat going strong. I see some shade being thrown at Edmonton Donaires. That continues to happen. Seeking Sad Guru says, a Donaire is only a Donaire if you use real meat, not that processed crap. Kind of excludes Edmonton Donaires from the conversation. That's bad.
Maybe
That's
we let
shade.
our first guest of the show weigh in on this one.
Yeah, we should get Marshall
ruling,
Ferguson, CFL on TSN. Marshall, good morning. Thank you for hopping on early. We appreciate that. Great to catch up with you, as always, kicking butt on the CFL on TSN. And, are you familiar with the Donaire? It's an Edmonton staple. It's been brought over from the Maritimes, and now we've got this debate in the nasty chat on our YouTube feed saying that's not real Donaires that you guys are eating in Edmonton, whereas in the Maritimes. Apparently, that's the real McCoys. So, where do you come out on this, Marshall? I'm putting you on the spot.
I appreciate it. It's good to be on with you guys. I miss being able to talk with you guys, and I'm super excited to see you launch this entire project and endeavor, because I think that it's going to be fantastically successful for you over the long haul. So I'm glad to be on and talking ball with you. I have to admit, I feel like I'm going to end up getting my Canadian citizenship revoked at some point during this conversation, because I went to Halifax and I didn't have a Donaire when I was out there in July this year, the week before Touchdown Atlantic. I've been to Western Canada, I don't know, a couple dozen times to cover football and travel and go to the Rockies and all the rest. I've never had a Donaire out there. I'm familiar with the Donaire concept. I actually don't know a damn thing about Donaires themselves, and I don't think I've ever had one in my life.
Eric, enlighten our dear friend Marshall.
I'm dying. Well, hey, Marshall, next time you're out, 780 way or whatever area code we're using now, Donaire's on us. We'll get you a jumbo. We'll all share it.
Yeah, jumbo with cheese.
Yeah. We'll get you fixed up.
Lettuce, tomato, onion if you want, with that beef on a spit and in a nice steamed pita wrap. And you know what? I think you'll love it, pal. Honestly, especially after a night of libations.
I feel so bad for never having one.
Don't.
It's a hell of a confession, man, and not just from one part of the country. You're doing it all, right? Not East Coast, not West Coast. You're just it's no Donaire. Not that you hate him, you just haven't done it yet, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get.
I didn't realize I was Donaire agnostic until this morning, though.
You're learning something every day.
Yeah, we're going to change that. All right, Marshall, let's take a hot lap around the CFL. We got a doubleheader tonight, which is a great way to kick off the weekend, and we're going to see Montreal taking on the Argonauts, and then the Elks and the Riders from Saski. And you wanted to talk about that Toronto-Montreal game.
Marshall, will the Argonauts ever lose a game again?
Well, this is the thing, right? So I live in Hamilton. My parents live in Kingston, Ontario, which is basically halfway between Hamilton and Montreal. So I'm actually talking to you guys from a baseball park next to my parents' house in Kingston, Ontario. Well, my son is playing with his grandparents right now, and nice. I get into town last night, and we're sitting there and we're having dinner, and my dad looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, I've lost touch with some of the CFL standings, but I just assumed Toronto was still winning." And I go, "Yeah."
Kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that it's been going. And it's crazy to me that they could lock up the East Division in whatever this is, week 15 or whatever, right? And it's so interesting to me every year in the CFL, because we always think, Hamilton's going to be the dominant team this year in 2019. And it's and then it's okay, well, who's going to be the challenger? I'm always interested in a 9-team league. There's always going to be a team that is the front runner, whether that's Winnipeg in the West or Toronto in the East. And then it's well, who's going to be the challenger? And this year in the East, it's just a bunch of Montreal, Hamilton, and Ottawa beating each other up, and Toronto just laughing at them and going, "Yeah, you guys just keep infighting, and we'll drive off into the distance here." And so, yeah, I think Toronto is, I saw their lineup that they're putting out in Montreal, which it partially is because of injuries. Partially, I think they're trying to find combinations that will work. I saw Montreal's depth chart, and the way that they are bringing in Sankey, backed up by Avery Williams. They've got Wesley Sutton back off the one-game injured list. They've got Keon Julian Grant back into the lineup. Montreal feels like, in kind of interestingly to me, they are refusing to get swept in the season series because they feel like they need to build some sort of belief if they have to go into BMO for an Eastern final.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, on the other side, is kind of just throwing a bunch of dudes out there because they're whatever, we already won the Eastern season series. We're probably going to win the East Division. If we don't lock it up this week, we probably will the following week. And it just feels like there's two incredibly different mindsets going into this one, which is why if Montreal is able to get a victory at home, the home crowd gets happy and everybody can kind of celebrate, and there'll be some belief, and we'll see whether or not that holds true by the time they get to the playoffs and play Toronto. If Toronto goes into Montreal with what I would call their B lineup and beats the Alouettes tonight, that is going to be a terrible feeling in the Alouettes building from now until the end of the season, regardless of how it ends. Unless, of course, Montreal were to upset Toronto in the playoffs, which we all know the CFL is crazy. Hamilton went into Toronto back in 2021 and was able to get the Eastern final victory on the road. So, I think this game is super, super interesting just because these are two teams towards the back half of the season that have very different mindsets based on the results that have already been played out. And how this shakes out based on their approach to this game, I think is going to be intriguing.
Marshall Ferguson joining us now, CFL on TSN. We've got doubleheader tonight. That's going to be Toronto at Montreal, and then the Elks visit the Riders. With this 10-1 record, 6-0 at home, Marshall, is that moving the needle in the greater Toronto area in terms of getting people into that stadium at BMO Field, or is it just kind of a meh, that's nice, but
yeah, it's a fair question, and it's always the question, right? And I think the biggest thing for me that I find really difficult is we do a pretty bad job as TSN of being able to frame that Toronto crowd properly, because we shoot the wrong side of the field, but we do it because we have to, because of branding and different things that are on the field that are required in order to get in. So it's like, it's kind of counterintuitive. It's the catch-22 of, well, we got to show the branding and we got to have the sponsors get their love so that everybody can get their money. But at the same time, by doing that, you're not showing people the fantastic fan experience and the crowd that exists behind the benches. And so I think the crowd has grown a little bit. I mean, I've done my last two games at BMO. I did the Calgary-Toronto game for the CNE game, and then I did the one the most recently against Montreal last Saturday. And I do think that it's a bigger crowd. It's a louder crowd. Like, people are pretty passionate about it. The tailgating, honestly, has been pretty good throughout the entire year, because I think Argonauts fans coming out of the Grey Cup Championship said, we have a really good team and we really enjoyed the way last year ended for obvious reasons. But they kind of came into this year with the championship glow, and then it was like, they intercept Bo Levi Mitchell a bunch in the first game at home, and they're like, oh, wait, we're good this year. This isn't just like a victory tour. This is like, we got another shot to try and do this thing and maybe go win a Grey Cup in Hamilton. So I do think that the fans are extremely passionate. You'd love to see the numbers obviously go up. You'd love to see that place be sold out like crazy. But I do know that if it is Toronto, as we expect, hosting the Eastern Final and locking this thing up, they're going to have a long runway to be able to promote to not just the CFL hardcore fans or, pissed off Tiger Cats fans from down the road to, hey, if you want to come watch the Eastern Final, come see. They're going to have a month plus to be able to market. And if MLSE is going to be worth their weight in gold as ownership and be able to actually send a message to people and use their marketing and promotion machine, giving you a month plus to be able to promote a home playoff game for a chance to go to the Grey Cup is a pretty damn good opportunity, I would say, to actually flex and show people what your worth is. So I hope that Toronto clinches this thing in the next couple of weeks, and then we can see what they can generate going into that playoff game.
Aesthetically, too, the uniforms, I think, just look razor sharp. I mean, it felt like the old look just seemed tired, and the last set of uniforms, it was just like a blue T-shirt or navy T-shirt. But I have to say, Marshall, I like the look of the Argos right now, honestly, just visually on the field, on top of the fact that they're playing really, really well. All right, let's shift gears. Let's look out west. The Elks kind of riding a heater right now, which is nice to say, and a change of pace around here. 3 wins in their last 4. Big win on that last-second field goal the other night at Commonwealth Stadium. They go into Saskatchewan, a team that got absolutely creamed in the Banjo Bowl. What are you expecting out of this one? And is the Trey Ford hype train for real?
Yeah, I'm just so angry at Edmonton. This is my honest feeling, guys. Every time that I see anything from the Elks social media accounts about like Trey Ford's so great and Trey Ford's this and Trey Ford's that, I'm like, yeah, I know. like we've all known for like a long time. Like, you guys are the ones who drafted him in the first round, and then you acted like he wasn't a first round quarterback. Like, think about this: when we trade quarterbacks, whether it's Vernon Adams Jr. from Montreal to BC. Or guys that bounce around the league to different places, like Bo Levi and Mitchell going Calgary to Hamilton, all the rest. What is it that you always get in return? You get a first-round pick. Like, quarterbacks, good starting quarterbacks in the CFL get traded for a first-round pick in the CFL. So if we're moving quarterbacks for a first-round pick, and you draft a quarterback with a first-round pick, why the hell are you not treating him as though he's worthy of being on the field? Like, that was so incredibly frustrating to me through the start of this season, where I'm like, okay, like for the third year in a row, everybody's telling me Cornelius is coming along and there's the belief, but I was looking at the body language of him and I'm like, okay, he might be slimmer, he might be in great shape, he might be all these good things happening in his personal life and he feels like he's in a good place mentally, and I'm like, he's still not inspiring. Like, I understand this guy comes from a big school and he's got a big body and everybody wanted to say the big arm and the this and that. And I'm like, I'm literally just using the eye test with him and saying he is not going to inspire a locker room. People are not going to want to play hard around him. And nobody in Edmonton would ever say that, but I'm saying that as somebody who watches every snap of the CFL every single year. For years, I saw that and I was just like, I mean, I hope for the sake of the Elks that he would get better, but I just have my doubts. And then, you know, when Trey finally gets his chance, which I think I literally tweeted out like week 1 when Cornelius had a low completion percentage in the first half. I'm like, Jesus, they need Trey Ford so bad right now just to create some kind of energy in that organization. It only took Jarrett Daggy and weaving through this guy and that guy and back up. And let's go to Kai Loxley. Yeah. And then let's bail on Kai Loxley and then let's cut him and let's bring back Cornelius and then let's do this and that. And during the delay in Hamilton that Edmonton had earlier this year on the Thursday night game, I was talking to Trey in the tunnel. I was talking to Leroy Simon. I was talking to people around the organization. And I basically was just like, why the hell did this take so long? And they're like, well, he had a bad training camp. I'm like, so you draft a quarterback in the first round and then you play him last year and he looks really good until he gets injured. And then you give him an extra year of development and he comes into camp and he doesn't knock your doors off. And so you just decide, well, we're just not even going to have him active. Like, I don't know. It makes me so angry. I don't think that anybody who is trying to take credit now for Trey Ford is really good and we're really excited to have him and we knew we could do this deserves any credit for playing him, because if they thought that, they would have played him a long time ago. So
Marshall.
It bothered me and I'm excited for it.
I love it. That was
I love the honesty.
Marshall's
and
bringing it.
He's spot on there, in my opinion. Marshall, just sticking with quarterbacks here and going down to your neck of the woods there. One Taylor Powell, who's really helping me in my late season surge in our 4-man CFL fantasy team for my Memphis Mad Dogs.
You might win it.
I'm going. But Taylor Powell, just speak to this guy. I know talking quarterbacks, and you mentioned Cornelius. And you talk so much about in that position and inspiration for a guy that was expected really not to take a snap fair this season. What have you seen? What have you liked from him? And, you know, I mean, the Ticats now, it's the team the Elks are chasing. Probably won't catch him, although mathematically still possible, I guess you could say. But Ticats hosting the Bombers tomorrow afternoon. Bombers going on a bye week, if I'm correct here. Do you look for Powell to continue to grow, maybe pull off a little bit of an upset here at home on the weekend? But just can you just talk of what you've seen from him, both the physical traits and maybe the inspiration coming from where he was on the depth chart to start the season and where he is right now?
Yeah, he's a great story. I think he's a super interesting prospect moving forward, and I would love to see him continue to develop. But the thing I give the biggest amount of credit, though, for his development isn't Taylor Powell. It's the switch from Tommy Condell to Scott Milanovich, which is no slight to Tommy Condell. I think he's a great offensive mind, but Scott Milanovich has a way of simplifying the game for quarterbacks and telling them, listen, it's 1 to 2 to 3. This is your read, and then it's a check down. If you take the easy throws over the long haul of the game and the season, you are going to have more success. You're going to have a higher completion percentage. We're going to move the football more. Your passer efficiency rate's going to go up. Like, all these things happen when Scott Milanovich is in control of your offense. And as soon as they made that switch, it went from Tommy Condell trying to apply what was built out as a Bo Levi Mitchell / Matthew Schultz offense into, hey, man, this system works for everybody. Like, anybody could drop in and play for Scott Milanovich if you have a good skill set and a good head on your shoulders, which Taylor Powell does, and have a little bit more success than he did earlier in the season when he was forced into action kind of on the fly. So, yeah, I like him. I think that his game is sound. I think his footwork is pretty good. Still some questionable decision-making. You know, his release isn't the fastest, whatever. But let's be real. Like, he was coming up just to try and get an opportunity to play professional football, and he's got a lot of tape as it stands right now. I think the biggest question for me with Hamilton, because when we finished the Montreal-Toronto game where the Argos win the season series last Saturday, John Perlberg, our stats guy, CFL and TSN, just looks at me as we're like packing up our gear, and he goes, "Is Hamilton going to catch Montreal?" and I was like, "No, there's no chance." And then I looked at the standings a day later, and I went, "Oh my God! Like, Hamilton might catch Montreal." Like, it reminds me a lot of when, you know, Ottawa was really, really bad last year, and they weren't mathematically out of the playoff chase until like week 18, because it's a 9-team league with like a 4-team East division, and you still finish the season with 3 games against the East, so you can claw your way back in even if you're down. And I'm like, is Hamilton actually going to host a home Eastern semi where Montreal has to go on the road? I'm like, oh my God, that sounds kind of crazy based on the season and what we've had. But I'm like, if that ends up happening, then you have Cody Fajardo having to go into Hamilton, where essentially his starting quarterback life began back in the year where Zach got knocked out and Cody just parachuted in and had to play emergency relief just like Taylor Powell. But the biggest question for me is Bo coming back? Like, and if so, when? Because like there's a game against Calgary for Hamilton not too far off in the distance. I wonder if that would be realistic, because that would be an incredible storyline. But even when Bo comes back, think about what we've seen from him this season. It was start the season with some bad interceptions, get injured, come back, throw 5 interceptions, and then break your leg.
Yep.
And it's like, what the hell are we supposed to expect from Bo if he comes back and parachutes in to take away Taylor Powell's spot in like a playoff game? Like, what is the expectation? Where would you even put what you want from him or what you think they could put up for points? Because he's working in the building and he's being around people. And yes, Bo is Bo. He's always going to be Bo. He's always going to have the resume. But based on what he's done this year and how last year ended, aside from training camp, the only real meaningful competitive reps that Bo has taken in basically over a year has been like 2 games worth of injury-filled interceptions. And it feels unreal to say that, but that's the biggest question I have. And it almost feels like last year where Dane Evans went in and was trying to kind of save the season for Hamilton the same way that Taylor Powell's being asked to this year.
Right.
But now you've got this dynamic where it's like, well, you know, Bo, everybody wants to see whether or not he can play again, but it's been a challenge. Powell, he leaves you wanting a little bit, but he's doing a decent enough job. And then in between, and I think this might actually be the thing that happens, there's this guy named Matthew Schultz who just kind of keeps playing at a pretty good level when he's healthy. And it's like everybody forgets about Matthew Schultz.
Yes.
And yet every time he steps on the field, he just kind of shows you that he's right on the edge of being a starting quarterback consistently in the league. So it's chaotic as ever, which is exactly what you would expect from the CFL this time of year.
Never a dull moment. Week 15, and Taylor Powell and the Ticats in tough against the Bombers tomorrow, and then the week wraps up with Ottawa visiting BC. Marshall Ferguson, always a pleasure. Enjoy your time with your son at the park, at hanging with your parents as well in Kingston. Great to catch up with you, man.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll just mention here on the way out as well, after I do the Montreal-Toronto game, the Canadian Superbike Championship I'm covering in Shannonville Motorsport Park, which is in Ontario this weekend. If people want to be able to watch live stream, live timing, all that good stuff, it is a crazy series. It's the 5th and final round. The championship is on the line between the 2021 champion, the 2022 champion. Just ridiculous amount of skill and riders from all over the country on motorcycles going 300 kilometers an hour. Don't know how I got tied into doing that, but I ended up doing it. And I friggin' love it. And I was at the track yesterday, and it's the craziest environment I've ever been around. So, yeah, check that out this weekend if you have a chance as well.
Awesome. Marshall, thanks, man.
Thanks, boys. Talk to you soon.
There you go. CFL on TSN's Marshall Ferguson. Yeah, I did the crashed ice thing, too, one year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get people going, hey, do you want to do, play-by-play or hosting? And you're like, I've never covered that sport before. Yes, I will do it. And it ends up being a ton of fun. Yeah.
Hey.
So Marshall getting that experience among many. I host a hunting show every November.
Yes.
I'm back for season 4 of Bozone Live, by the way.
Got to set the PVR already. I got to get that going.
You did watch it last year.
I loved it.
I'm going to dip into the nasty chat. Do you have the conch ready?
Yeah, one conch.
Okay, one conch. Okay.
We'll do a lot of conches when we come back here.
I think we can appreciate this one. From Bean Watkins says, boys, can I get a conch for my 45th birthday being on a Friday?
Ooh, a man.
LTE Sports Update.
Week 2 in the NFL getting underway last night. It was the Philadelphia Eagles improving to 2-0. They knock off the Vikings 34-28. Kirk Cousins 4 touchdowns in the loss. Mini drop to 0-2. You can join me at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road every Monday and Thursday night. Food, drink specials, and your chance to enter into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to see the Rams and the Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. The Jays continue to struggle. They get swept aside last night. 9-2. Rangers taking the 4-game set by a combined score 35-9. The Jays now a game and a half back of the Mariners for that 3rd wild card spot. Back over to football. Elks visit the Riders tonight, looking to remain in that hunt for a playoff spot. Elks Riders, the second of a doubleheader tonight is in the CFL. Alouettes hosting the Argos at 5:30. Elks Riders kick off 7:30 from Regina. U of A Golden Bears football team, they'll look to improve to 3-0 on the road when they visit the 2-0 Saskatchewan Huskies. Kickoff at 7. Edmonton Oilers open the Young Guns tournament tonight in Penticton as they're up against the Winnipeg Jets. Puck drop 5. And the Oil Kings preseason schedule, that'll wrap up this weekend from Grand Cache with a pair of games against the Prince George Cougars.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week 1. And then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly. And I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine. Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielson. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielson Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
By request. 6:49. Good morning. You're listening to The Nielson Show or watching The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. That song is so nice, we played it twice.
I got the library here. I had a choice of 10, and of course I played the same. But yes, you're right. We liked it, so why not keep it going? Yeah.
I like it. Great to have Marshall Ferguson on. We will get to Tim Hauraney just after 7. Rod Black will join us around 7:40, and then we have Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week with Scott Laurie later on around 8:20-ish, 8:30-ish, and of course, kind of easy trivia and 3 questions too many. Lots to get to. You can chime in this morning via the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, or the Nasty Chat on the YouTube feed. And I think for the next, 8 or 9 minutes, we'll just hit some conches because I saw some requests coming in. I like this one from Nash Osborne via the Nasty Chat. It says, my wife is still sleeping. Let's get a conch for her to wake up.
Crank that volume.
Very nice.
Good morning.
Good morning. You got one?
No.
I can get another one. I have another one.
Dougler was checking in?
Yep. The Dougler says, good morning, boys. I'm a bit late, but can I get a birthday conch? Yes, sir. Happy birthday to Dougler.
Happy birthday to Dougler. I got a good one
fellow
here.
September birthday. Yes.
I got a 3-parter here from a guy that's near and dear to our hearts. Good morning, boys. LT, I humbly say. I'm not going to read it all like Tief because I can't impersonate the best. But good morning, boys. LT, I humbly say congratulations to you on the Philadelphia Eagles win last night. The Vikings thought there was some hope, but there wasn't. Can you please give yourself a conch? You were awesome. It was great hanging out with you last night. I look forward to doing it again soon. Go Elks. That comes in from Atif. Atif was set up at the bar. I walk in. He's already into it. He's like 3-4 Pepsis deep already by the time I showed up. Him and I went over a smoked brisket cheesesteak. We each had one, dined that down, and he wanted to put a friendly wager on the game. He was all about the Vikings early on, and I should have put something on. But Wheels, Atif, thanks for coming out. And this conch is for you, buddy.
The Vikings made it interesting last night.
Yes, Cousins
Philly
had a
was
decent night. Philly hung on.
They led. They paced the way to that one.
A frustrating win, I guess, maybe probably for Eagles fans in the end, but they got it over the line, 2-0.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Let's go with this one. Barry says, Whale and the Wolf at Starlight tonight. I think we can conch that. We'll all be there tonight.
Yeah.
Wannick's awake now. Get the fist pump going.
It'll be a late one. Get a little football in you tonight. Golden Bears, Huskies, Elks, Riders, and then head off downtown to the Starlight Room. It should be a great Friday night.
This one says, give Marshall Ferguson a conch. He was fired today. That's from Dex.
Even with the Donaire opinion or lack thereof, I
want to go to Northside Adam on this one. I met Northside Adam at our last on-location oil stream at the Northgate BP. That was great. Northside Adam, great to finally meet you. This one says, hey, boys, my wife is home from a month of travel. PSP, Hot Wheels Ben, and I would love a conch for her. Thanks, y'all. Northside Adam. Timber Woodsman is asking if we're watching the Goonies, or did you watch the Goonies? Did someone not watch the Goonies? You did. Matthew, what'd you think? Did you watch it?
We didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
We thought you said didn't.
No.
I saw someone tweet that they were watching Goonies.
I was a listener.
Yeah, Emperor Hadrian there, Pressman Pete.
Yeah, there's no chance.
A good buddy
of
mine, he was watching.
If I haven't watched it now, I'm not going to watch it.
You're not watching it out of straight spite.
Now it's spite. Yes.
I can tell.
100% now
I'm picking up on this.
But they're
before it was I just had no interest, but now that Dusty, it annoys Dusty and apparently you, I will.
I'm not annoyed. I'm just
it seems like you're a little annoyed right now.
Tell us you're not annoyed by telling us that.
I love how he needles it. I'm not watching it. I hate it, and I've not seen it.
If they do a watch party here, I'll make sure I close my office door.
You would literally do that. I can envision it.
You wouldn't even join in? I'm willing to join in.
No, I'm good.
You know what's going to happen? Goonies is going to be on one of the channels tonight. You're going to stumble on it, and you're going to watch it.
No, not a chance. I got Elks Riders. Huskies Bears is actually on TV today.
You're going to
And
PVR.
that's
it.
going to be a great game.
I know. I'm going to have to be flipping. Then I got to go to Whale and the Wolf. And then I got to be here tomorrow for your show, Hello Hockey, 10 to noon right here on Edmonton Sports Talk on the YouTube channel as well. So there you go. And then it's college football all day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Manchester United plays tomorrow. And then Sunday I'm here. I got to head to the ranch for the VIP golf show, Murray McCourt, 8:30 till 10, EdmontonSportsTalk.com or our YouTube channel. And then I got to do some laundry. And then I go see my folks. And there's no time, Tommy.
Man, that's a weekend. That's a weekend. Maddie, it's all good. And then you
I also forgot NFL in there.
You know what? Just YouTube Best of Goonies, and you'll get it all in a nice little package
Here's
in
the
like
thing.
10 minutes.
I said this to Dusty, that if he watches Godfather, I'll watch Goonies and stuff. And he kind of immediately was like, no.
Well, yeah, I know. And he didn't have the cup of coffee either. Like, there was
So I will watch it with all you guys. And I'm not saying he has to watch both Godfathers. I'm leaving 3 out of this.
Just one.
I'm not even saying he has to watch Godfather 2 here.
Just one.
Just watch one.
The
And
original.
I will watch Goonies.
I respect that, Matthew.
But he has to do that before you, because I'm just willing. If
I'll
they
watch-
want to have a while, I'll say,
No,
okay,
because
I'm
I don't
really
trust
open to
him.
it. You don't trust
I
him?
don't I feel like if I watch Goonies with him, he will not sit down to watch
His end of the
Godfather
bargain.
with
Yeah,
us.
I get that. Yeah,
so it's a
I
one-way
will
street.
do it. Like if
he
we
does
all
it
sit
first,
down and watch Godfather, maybe this is like a watch party thing for our stream.
Can't wait, man.
But
We already got the nice, comfortable couch.
We have 2 nice, comfortable
Wow,
couches.
and the chairs, and it's a home theater.
Like, I
in
think
a sense,
Joaquin Gage put in an 8-hour shift here yesterday.
get a projection screen.
Right? Gager loves it here. Loves it.
Morning, guys. Darren here. Can I get a conch for you guys paying for most conches heard in 5 minutes? I think we can conch that there. Why not, hey?
We don't get a lot of complaints about too many conches, and I believe you and I have played more conches than...
Oh, yeah. You do it more than Dusty. I mean, that's his confession here, and I know he might be listening or watching, but that's the truth.
I'm the guest at a Halloween party that goes to the front door and gives away too much candy to the kids. That's me with conches.
Very apt. Yeah.
I'm here to please. Can't please them all, I know that, but I'm dishing these bad boys out like Halloween candy, and it's not my house. I didn't buy them.
Well, you know what, Tommy? Maybe we'll wrap up this hour and this Friday morning with a conch to you for all your generous conching.
Oh, all right. This flies by. I know it's a 3-hour format. Yeah. It's been great. And we got Owanik smiling and laughing. That's good. He's in better spirits. And we've got a lot of people chiming in on the Nasty Chat via the YouTube feed. And then, of course, at the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. When we come back, it will be Tim Hauraney, F1 and IndyCar insider. We're heading into the Singapore GP. Some drama between Verstappen and Toto, and some contract news. And we'll find out from Tim what to expect this weekend on the track right here on the Nielsen Show.
The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
It's the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Good morning. Just after 7:01 to be exact. Gazzola in for Dusty. He will be calling the Elks Riders game tonight on the CFL on TSN. Lieutenant Eric with us as well, and Matthew Wannick, and we roll on. We're going to get to some racing talk, and Singapore GP coming up this weekend. Looking forward to that. And as always, looking forward to chatting with this next guest. It is Tim Hauraney, F1 and IndyCar insider, and our dear friend Tim. I know you want to watch the practice session, so we'll keep it neat and tidy in a nice little package for you. Great to catch up with you, first of all. Let's start there. And then I want to dip into the drama between Verstappen and Toto Wolff. I like this war of words going into a race. What do you make of the mini spat that we heard and saw and read over the last couple of days?
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks very much for having me on. Really appreciate it. It's good to hear your voice again, Tom.
Hey.
Yeah, so for the stuff that's happening between Toto Wolff and Max Verstappen, it kind of dates back to following the Italian Grand Prix, which was the last race out, where Max Verstappen had set a record for 10 consecutive wins. So no one's ever won 10 straight races, 10 straight Grand Prix in Formula One before. Sebastian Vettel had won 9, and Max had broken that last time out. And the question was put to Toto Wolff about it, if he was impressed. And to summarize, he had basically said that these stats are somewhat useless, as, you know, they're from Wikipedia, I believe is what he had said. And
yes, and nobody reads that anyway.
Yeah, that's what the full quote was. So this was put to Max on Thursday during the Thursday FIA press conference, and he had said basically that Toto must have been really upset at that point. They hadn't had a good weekend. I'm basically keeping this the PG-13 version of what Max had said. Was a spicy quote for sure. But at the end of the day, I think Toto Wolff cares about records.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you look at what his team has done, and in particular his driver Lewis Hamilton has done in the sport, I mean, the records that they have overcome, I mean, are extremely impressive. So, yeah, I think obviously, Toto really does care about the records. The thing is that with this Red Bull car, I mean, they have an opportunity here to to possibly win every single Grand Prix that is on the calendar. And that has never been done before. No team has ever won every single race in a row on the Formula One calendar. McLaren got close in 1988 with Senna and Prost, but they came up one short. I believe they had won 16 of the 17 races, if I'm not correct, or 15 of the 16. So I forget what the full stat was, but they're the ones who got the closest. And now you have Red Bull here, who's clearly on his way to. They're clearly on their way to possibly doing that. I mean, this track in particular, Singapore here, Tom. I mean, I think this could be the race where we see an upset happen if it were to happen.
Verstappen, quote unquote, called it a crappy race for Mercedes. So I'm cleaning that up as well. Yeah. Speaking of Max, and you mentioned, potentially an 11th straight victory at a Marina Bay track he's never won at. Does that, how does that change this weekend? And speaking of changes, Tim, there's been some changes and modifications to the track. How will that affect things?
Yeah, I think one of the things with the track in general, in terms of those changes, they've taken away a smaller section, a slower speed section on this racetrack, and essentially what it does is it stops the tire from degrading or degging, as the drivers call it. And essentially with this track in Singapore is that the tire deg is quite high when you get to the end of a push lap. So when these drivers are qualifying and they get close to finishing the lap up, the tire starts to lose a lot of its life because of a lot of the slow speed corners that are on this track. And I think, doing away with the slower speed section at the end of the lap will help with the racing. It'll help in terms of creating a possible passing opportunity in some of the final corners. But at the same time, we could see this section get added back onto this track at a later date, because at the time, Singapore has been undergoing some construction in that area, and so that's why essentially it's all closed down. But it could be for the benefit of us. I mean, this could play out to be a really good race on Sunday. And I think one of the things with Singapore is it's such a long race, and the track is just so demanding, and it's so demanding on the drivers that a lot of mistakes tend to happen towards the end of these races. Drivers get dehydrated quite quickly. It's extremely physical. I mean, this is one of the tracks that the drivers train for. This is one of the races that they really train for throughout the season. And so always a great race in Singapore. My personal opinion, I absolutely love this track. I love that they do it at night. And yeah, it always shows up a curveball every now and again. That's why I was saying, if there's going to be a team that will upset Red Bull in this incredible run that they're on, it's going to be here. It's going to be in Singapore, because, it has similar characteristics to what we've seen in Hungary. And in Hungary, Lewis Hamilton took the pole. And here we've seen in free practice 1 how competitive Ferrari has been. They've been extremely competitive. They're competitive again in free practice 2 currently on a medium tire compound. And so I think if anyone's going to do it, Tom, it's going to be here.
Tim Hauraney joining us now, F1 and IndyCar insider. He is our big guest of the day for Pro-Am Sports. And I was going to bring up Ferrari. Are there any other dark horses in this race? Because even listening to Checo and Verstappen and their comments heading into Singapore, Tim, it seemed like, listen, these are confident guys, and this Red Bull team is on just on an unbelievable hot streak. But it almost didn't seem like they were overconfident talking about this weekend. So if there were to be a team or two that might make a push, who could you see that team being?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They weren't too confident about this race weekend. Neither driver. I think the likes of Ferrari, Carlos Sainz is on a high right now, coming off of what was a really big third place finish for him at the Italian Grand Prix, which was Ferrari's home race. And I think if you look further down the order, I mean, the Mercedes could also throw a wrench into Red Bull's plans as well. And same too goes with Aston Martin. I mean, currently Lance Stroll in pre-practice too, as we're doing this, he's third. And I think if Alonso or is able to pull something out special, it could be here as well. And the thing with this season that's been so, fascinating to watch is that obviously we know that Red Bull is dominant and they created a great car and Max Verstappen's been incredible. But when we look further back into the field, so when you look at who's second in the constructors, who's third, who's fourth, and that's all been shifting. And a big part of that is because of these regulations that were introduced in 2022, that it has really thrown these teams for a loop. And that's exactly what F1 and Liberty Media wanted. They wanted to spice up the entertainment, and they're definitely getting it. I mean, once the teams start to learn what exactly Red Bull is doing and they start to develop the cars for next season, I think we're going to see a really good show. Maybe halfway through 2024, we'll see some teams really start to push Red Bull, really start to push them. And then once you get into 2025, I think it's going to be extremely close, just simply the way the regs are and the way the teams start to understand the cars, because they're still trying to understand them. That's why no one can tell you who's going to be the second fastest team, because it changes every single weekend. And, Tom, sometimes it's funny, if you would just remove Red Bull from the equation, I mean, this is probably one of the most exciting Formula One seasons we would have ever seen.
Tim, I look forward to see what happens in Singapore, and that's a good point. But they've just been so dominant, Red Bull and Verstappen especially. But great to catch up with you. You thought you got rid of us. That is not the case. Au contraire, my friend. I know we always bugged you about the Montreal GP, but myself, Awanik, and Lieutenant Eric, maybe even Dusty, are now going to crash your Venetian penthouse suite at the Vegas GP, okay?
So are you guys going to go to any races, or are you just going to,
No, we're full of crap.
We need to see some action.
The money.
We need sponsors. But maybe we'll drive down to Vegas and be like, Tim, we're here. Where are our passes to the race? And then, there'll just be the fear of God in your eyes, and will be a total burden on you for the entire weekend.
I think that race in Vegas, I think is going to be just scenes. It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I've got my little Airbnb booked, and I'm going down early to do a bunch of content gathering and stuff. And I have some friends who are already down there, and they're just telling me about what F1 has done down there in terms of repaving the strip, and then also the new building that F1 is building, right in the center of everything. And I mean, it sounds like it's just going to be an absolute spectacle. It's just going to be incredible. So I've had that race circled on my calendar since last year. And so, I'm very excited to see how that all plays out, because, when they did Miami, so we went to Miami the first year that they did it.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. The racing on the track wasn't the greatest. I mean, there was a pass for the lead, and there was a good little battle between Leclerc and Verstappen, but the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, I mean, everywhere I looked, there was a celebrity or a professional athlete. It was awesome. And so Vegas, I feel, is just going to be that, only elevated.
Oh, it's going to be a spectacle, especially when the four of us come and crash at your Airbnb. Make sure there's no twisted teas for Dustin to get into, okay?
James, I've got a nice couch there you can sleep on. I believe there's also a chair you can put your legs up on. There you go.
Tim, always a pleasure, dude. We'll do this again soon.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. You guys take care.
Thanks, Tim. All right, Tim Hauraney, F1 and IndyCar Insider, our big guest of the day for Pro-Am Sports. .ca, you can shop NFL sideline headwear from New Era and throwback jerseys from Mitchell and Ness. We've got both Sanders, Barry, and Coach Prime, who's into it right now. We'll get into that. Visit Pro-Am in Edmonton on St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of the Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. I didn't see that video until you showed me it our last commercial break, and I love bugging Tim because I think he freaks out. He gets, you know how he's excited, and he always goes like this to the camera when he's doing his F1 reports on SportsCenter. I just feel like his eyes light up. Are these guys for real? Are they actually going to show up?
Well, there's a bit of here's a bit of truth. One of these days we'll have to. Make good on our word to at least go down there, give him a high five, and drive all the way back.
Matthew,
we have no bosses. We can do whatever we want. How are we not going to just plan to take Edmonton Sports Talk on the road?
Let's elevate Edmonton Sports Talk.
Like, how do we not
find an old school bus?
We have to do it non-CFL season. So I like Montreal. I think so, because then otherwise we can't have Dusty.
Yeah, you're right.
But maybe Miami.
Maybe Miami.
Miami.
My goodness.
It's May.
Yeah.
The CFL's not going. We all get in a van, head on down, save some costs that way, do some shows along the way.
A marked van. We'll paint nasty on the side, in a
real
just
nasty.
We'll just borrow the bus the Whale and the Wolf uses for their tour.
Yeah.
We'll just take it after, and we'll go. We'll back the equipment up. We'll do some shows live in the van. And
now we're cooking.
Return it with a full tank of gas.
Absolutely.
Nobody knows.
We can do whatever we want.
We can
How
do
are we
whatever
not
we want.
doing this? Like, the only thing we have to worry about is if the Oilers. If they're in a run, so we have to push it.
We're not going abroad. We're not going to the Middle East.
Wow.
Like there's a lot of the schedule we can kind of cut out.
Spot we could try like maybe Mexico or Brazil.
South of the border.
Because that's usually later.
Austin, Texas.
Well, there's that one, Coda.
We could take a nasty armada down the east coast of Brazil.
All of that, right? And like, because that's right at just the start of the Oilers season, so we could do stuff on the road. Like playoffs, we got to be here, but the start of the season, we could watch it on our computers and still do Oil Stream pre and post game shows.
Well, what about Austin?
That's maybe we do the Austin Mexico one too. Take this on the road for 2 weeks.
Double it up. Boys,
but again,
hello, Tim. We're here.
We're a digital audio station, digital radio station, which means we could do this from anywhere.
We could take the desk.
We could back it up.
It's easy. It all comes apart.
It all comes apart. Maybe we'll need 2 vans at that point. But
you're
these are we could do whatever we want.
I want to do it today though.
This is ours.
The idea we're Tim Hauraney. Well, we're getting excited now because I feel like I'm getting too excited.
Matty usually shuts
things
down, and now he's enabling us. What's happened to you?
Jen in the YouTube nasty chat goes, "Who goes missing? LOL."
Me. Probably me or you.
Eric. See, the only because like Eric will ghost at some point.
Yeah,
but he'll find his way back to us.
I'm a married man now. Before that, like in the before time, I would.
I could see us I could see you going missing for a day. Like you left one night,
but by design.
We drive to the next spot, and somehow you meet us there because you've gotten there your own way. Dusty, I think it's Dusty the one we'd have to be concerned.
Yeah, always concerned about Dusty.
Why?
I could see him I could see him having fun at one place, and like we have to we're trying there's a race, there's a certain point we have to get there.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is too much fun. But let's just stay here tonight. And
he does that.
Dusty, we need to actually kind of get going so we can get closer. No, let's have some fun.
So we'll do the next race.
T-Roy was with me last night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. He's Dusty's brother-in-law or former brother-in-law, whatever.
Yes.
But he's seen Dusty in some pretty compromising situations.
Yeah.
But we both agreed. He has kids now. He's a family man. When he does do these things like Grey Cup, Twisted Teas, you mentioned that. When he gets out, he gets out now.
Yeah.
So that's. I hear you there. Everything's enhanced
I'll have to
by
be
10.
the guy that is like, Dusty, we have to get going, and then I'm going to be the party pooper, and everyone's going to hate me.
Yeah. But you love being that foil.
The foil, yes, but I don't want to be the dad.
He's the dad.
Yeah, but I'll have to be the dad on this trip. I'll be the one that is like driving and have to yell, if you kids don't stop, we're turning this around. We're going back to Winnipeg.
That sounds like a JMO thing.
He could be the driver.
He could be the dad and driver.
It'd be nice, kind of, we'd pay him, or whatever, fee.
Sandwiches?
Something. Yeah, that type of thing.
But we just do whatever we want.
This text,
give away 2 spots to join us, to our listeners.
Well, people are already going.
Boy.
I'm going to the F1 in Vegas, pumped. Probably going to wear an AM Nasty shirt all weekend. I love that.
Awesome.
Spread the nastiness around Vegas.
We'll get some new swag potentially.
Twisted Teas, absolute man child. The text flies in as well. The Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999.
99. All right,
that'll be the 2 hoots.
The 2
now
hoots.
It'll be the 2 hoots. Now it'll be the 2 hoots. Oh yeah. You think the achy breaky's something?
My goodness.
But we need to. We can't just say these ideas. Tim's right. Like we need to kind of at least.
We have to act.
I don't know. We can't.
So,
I want to plan
today. We
today.
have plans for things. Like Edmonton Sports Talk, we are 10 days in.
I know, but
on air.
I'm getting
We've
the taste
only-
already.
And there's a lot of plans that we have that no one knows about but us. And we will get there. But, like, okay, maybe 2024 is not the year.
Can't do it all in one. Yeah.
But in 2025 might be the year.
Yeah. That's a nasty tease.
This goes on to the board. This goes on to our board, and we see what happens. This isn't like the old place where we say this on the air, we have a good laugh, and then the mics go off, we immediately go, that ain't happening.
That would have been
No
fun.
chance for that one.
Yeah.
This one,
a
it
good
could
point.
be discussed.
Yeah, ultimate sports trip of a lifetime contest. Ride with the EST boys and the nasty bus down to an F1 race that comes in from Beef Nips. It writes itself, does it not?
I will ultimate sports trip of a lifetime. One day we'll have a new home.
Good.
All I'll say.
That was
You heard it here.
sorely missed at our old shop. But here at EST, we make the rules.
Maybe we'll do a golf tournament before, like,
Well-
we'll start. There's levels, right?
Maddie's given the...
You never know, Eric.
You might be onto
You
something,
never know.
Eric.
You never know.
I hope so. I mean, if only we knew a guy that owned and slashed was the GM of a golf course and happened to have a show on this fine station on Sundays at 8:30 a.m.
Maybe if we had a few golfers on our staff. I don't know of anyone that golfs at
Nobody.
EST.
Well, I can drive a cart.
You're a great golf
I
driver.
will, yeah.
We're
Keep
letting
score.
too much out.
We're not letting anything
Let's,
out.
let's
get
sports
to
update here.
Let's get
Come
to a
on,
sports
let's-
update.
People
with Donaire.
got behind the curtains of EST just now.
No more secrets.
Sports rewind, I should say. Hey,
The rewind.
Calm down. Just got to breathe here.
Ready now.
It's too much. Week 2 of the NFL getting underway last night. It was the Eagles improving to 2-0 with a 34-28 home win over the Vikings. Kirk Cousins 4 touchdowns in the loss. Mini falling to 0-2. Of course, you can join me every Monday and Thursday at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Century Casino Fort Road food drink specials and your chance to get into a draw, qualify for a draw for a trip for 2 to LA. Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. The Blue Jays getting swept by the Rangers last night in the finale of the 4-game set, 9-2, 35-9. The Jays outscored during this 4-game series. They'll now get set to host Boston tonight to kick off a 3-game set. Seattle, who they're chasing in this wild card race, will play host to the Dodgers over the weekend. Toronto, a game and a half back of the Mariners. Week 15 of the Canadian Football League kicking off tonight with a doubleheader. Elks visiting the Riders. Kickoff 7:30. Action begins on the evening at 5 o'clock out east as the Alouettes host the 10-1 Argos. A little closer to home, U of A Golden Bears. They look to improve to 3-0 on the gridiron tonight. They visit the Saskatchewan Huskies, who are 2-0. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. The Oilers open the Young Guns tournament tonight in Penticton. They'll take on the Jets. Puck drop at 5. The Oil Kings preseason schedule will conclude this weekend. They'll have a pair of games against the Cougars beginning tonight from Grand Cache. This Sports Rewind is brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service. Servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
Lock Shop.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week 1, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I mean, I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have, and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey. Saturday mornings at 10. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout, and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Evan 26 in Edmonton. Good morning. Tom Gazzola in for Dusty Nielson here on the Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Matthew Awanek running things back there, keeping everything operational.
Very
this
smooth.
Lovely Friday. Very smooth. Maddie's in a good mood now.
Great job.
He's in a very good mood.
You guys, like, did you not believe me when I said?
No, I did
like,
not.
because when we're on Turf District, I mentioned it like that.
I did not believe
Well,
it.
I know.
I
Well,
thought it was an act.
No, like, legit. It's like I'm rough in the mornings. And it seems like these 2 Fridays have got me the worst out of all.
I find you to be very pleasant right now.
Yeah, but it wasn't earlier.
No, you were making sly comments under your breath.
Yeah, that is, though, like I know you mentioned earlier, that is some of my best work I usually do.
It was sharp.
Like
it's
the
when
most,
you come alive is
I can't use the word I want to use on air, but it's when I'm at my worst, like in terms of being mean and
I feel like you embrace
not to you guys either. Like I don't think I was to you guys.
Personal, no.
But to other things, like that's when I really let loose a little bit with my nasty comments.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
You can text us, 780-218-9999. Hit us up at the Nasty Chat on the YouTube feed if you're watching. Of course, we're in the Popeyes studio. And over at Popeyes, they've got the sweet and spicy wings going until October 15th. 6-piece sweet and spicy wings, $10.49. You could get the combo. That's a 6-piece sweet and spicy wings plus a regular side and medium drink, $12.99. And, of course, if you go for the platter, you're really hungry.
Yeah.
For $14.99, you get the 6-piece wings, sweet and spicy ones, 2 regular sides, 1 large drink.
Just get the platter.
Go for it.
You got to go with the platter.
I get the mac and cheese when I
You'll
go
be
there.
hurting yourself. At the end, you finish the regular meal. I should have went for the platter. The mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes.
Oh.
That's my go-to.
It's a good
the
combo.
little gravy on top.
Yeah. Mac and cheese, a little pepper. Just saying.
Best
You
sides
do
of the
you.
game.
You do you. We do have Red Black coming up around 7:40, but we're talking about Deion Sanders, primetime.
Got to get into this.
So good. You want to lay it on us?
Yeah, I mean, and Maddie mentioned earlier on college football, of course, it's fall, it's Saturday, and this is what we're doing, but the Colorado Buffaloes, it's a
the
thing
story.
now. Go
it's
Buffs.
The
I mean,
story in football.
They'll be playing their state rivals, Colorado State Rams, and, if If you didn't hear, Jay Norville, I don't know. We're going to know him now because he's challenged Deion, but I don't know if we'll know of him after the weekend. But
Smart
who's
play.
to say? He said yesterday, and I'm paraphrasing, something that when he talks to, adults or grown-up people, he'll take his cap off and take off his sunglasses because that's what you do, and that's how you respect people.
That's very polite.
Look, taking that on its own, okay, nothing wrong with that, really.
Sure.
But, he said that in the direction of one neon Deion Sanders. And as we know, Deion Sanders' colorful personality and everything, he took it a little personal. But we have the audio from yesterday. Deion Sanders prepping his team for Saturday night's game against Colorado State. And here's what Deion had to say about those comments directed at him and his team.
Yes, sir. I'm minding my own business, watching some film, trying to get ready, trying to get out here and be the best coach I could be. And I look up and I read some bull junk that Deion said about us.
Talk to us.
Once again,
talk to us.
Why would you want to talk about us when we don't talk about nobody? All we do is go out here, work our butts off, and do our job on Saturday. Yes, but when they give us ammunition, they done messed around and made it what? It was just going to be a good game.
And it made this shit personal.
They done messed around and made it personal. It was going to be a great test, a battle of Colorado, but they done messed around and made it personal.
What happened to them last security guards?
That's Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy.
That's right. What Jimmy? Jimmy,
talk to him.
And then they bring in a player to kind of lead the huddle.
Yeah.
But Deion Sanders, you want to be pissing this guy off? Now, did he take it too personally? Is that
No.
like, I mean, bulletin board material, who really cares? But at the end of the day, you got to go out there and play. But I wouldn't give this guy any sort of ammunition whatsoever. And it looks like you've kind of poked the tiger here, so to speak.
They call him prime time for a reason. He plays off of this stuff really well. I think he handled it great. I like the buy-in from the group. Obviously, they're off to a great start.
Yeah.
This is going to be the game to watch because of not only what Deion Sanders has been doing with his team, but now you've got that back and forth bulletin board material. He said. Now it's personal.
It's personal.
He's listening to some bull junk that the other coach is saying. I love it.
It's going to be very hard for me, and I don't have a U.S. college team. Maddie's Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Miami.
Hurricanes, Washington State Cougars.
Washington State Cougars.
How many other teams do you cheer for in NCAA football? You've got
There's
two.
just two.
Just two.
Do you know how many schools there are?
110 in Div 1.
And they're all like, so it's
But your
natural.
Cougars first?
No, Miami was always first. But Cougs, it's just there's a natural connection because of Spokane TV and just my dad was the
Yeah,
like
I'm just teasing you.
It was that one. Like if there's a 30-team league, yeah, it's weird to have two.
We always watch Michigan.
But there's 100 and some, and they rarely ever play each other if they ever do. To have each coast covered.
Okay.
You need to get into college football.
You have an alma mater?
Guys.
Or
Nate?
Yeah, go Ooks.
Go Ooks.
Go Ooks.
Yeah, I always cared more about the Bears than the Ooks.
We'll have a fellow
And I
Ook
never
joining us
went
today
there.
on the Hangout, right?
Yes, we will.
Mark Mijon.
That's right.
That's right.
But I'm going to find it very difficult not to become a Colorado fan.
Really?
I think so.
Are you
I'm
not
already
worried that
drinking
he's going to leave?
Do you think it
And
gets
then are you going to stay
obnoxious
with?
for
Are
now?
you a Colorado fan or are
Probably
you going
not.
to be a Deion fan?
I'm a Deion fan, maybe. Maybe that's
'Cause
what
that's
it is.
the thing. Because does he last 2 years at? Like I'll set the over under. He's there 1.5 seasons at Colorado.
Going pro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does he leave after this year, or does he last 2 seasons plus at
Do you
Colorado?
not think this is the type of guy who should maybe stay in college? Like, just given this, you listen to that video. Like, he seems like a guy that really gets kids to buy into. But then, making that jump to the adults in the room is.
But when the NFL comes looking at you and
Sure.
they say, "Here's the money,"
Oh, you take it. But this seems like a guy who just kind of wants to be with the. I don't know. But again,
I could see him going.
The Colorado. I'm full aboard the train.
Does the shtick wear off, or is it just legit, and does it become obnoxious, or am I looking too far down the road?
As long as you could, follow up the talk.
That's
you
what you got to do. You got to walk it, yeah.
You go lose this weekend to state rival. It changes a lot.
Will you lose after this whole?
Well, everything he's doing a lot of talk, and there's after the first win, he went after some members of the media. It's great. People love this.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you get that first loss, let's see how it goes from there. Because in college, that affects you big time.
Yeah. Interesting. Great story so far, though.
It's got me in. It's
You're
got me
in.
all in.
You're hooked.
I know. I'm eagerly waiting for the next Deion soundbite.
There's going to be many of those.
Whatever bulletin board material that might be.
Primetime, says Rob, in the nasty chat.
Primetime, yeah. Gordo thinks he'll be getting an NHL coaching job. Just how long?
Right.
Somebody, Ed the Pilot, I'm starting a crowdfunding campaign. We need the EST app ASAP. Any update?
Well, we need some sort of business code to go behind the scenes for us to get it published with the stores. So until we get that, we really can't go anywhere.
But in the meantime, you go to the
EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Bookmark it on your homepage.
Bookmark it to your homepage, both Apple or iOS/Android. You can do that, and it works just like an app.
Works great.
I do that when I'm in my car.
That's what I do when you guys chastise me for being late.
Well, don't be late, and we won't chastise you.
I feel like I'm not late.
You were perfectly very punctual this morning. You're right on time. Actually, we walked in together this morning, didn't we?
It was lovely.
I'm surprised you two didn't carpool. That's kind of.
I thought he stayed here overnight. He told me when he got the couch from Jay Milne that the first thing Matthew did when we put the couch together and put it into his office was lay down and goes, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely be sleeping on this thing," and I respect the hell out of that. But it hasn't happened yet.
There'll be a couple of nights.
Tonight was
too early.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not like
early
I was
days.
here last night. I left at like 4 yesterday. I wanted to go home.
Well, yeah, you need to get some rest.
It's gonna be if I'm here at night. Like if there's an Oil Stream post game show I got to do with you.
Right.
There's a chance.
Well, those
I just got to bring some.
Those
blankets.
games from the SAP Center. Hey, 8:30, 8:40 puck drop.
Those are late. Those are late. They wear
Sharks
on.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait for those, eh?
I'm actually very excited for those.
For the SAP, 8:40 puck drops?
Well,
I mean, give me a 5 o'clock in Penticton any day. Young stars or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Oilers
exactly.
Plus if you want to watch it.
Oilers Plus, Oil Kings as well, preseason wrapping up this weekend.
I'm excited for the hockey season.
Well, it's getting close. This is a time, too. We've been talking. NFL's coming once a week now. CFL's kind of gone away from that 4-day schedule. So you got the Jays during the week. And you're kind of screaming out for something else daily to kind of take that. We all enjoy the baseball, spring, dog days of summer, but
Jays are doing everybody dirty right now.
Exactly. And that's, I think people just want to move on, but
they want to celebrate.
Want to celebrate
accomplishments on the field of play, not chastise the team and boo them for every run they allow over the course of a 4-game series against a team that they're in the hunt for a playoff spot against.
Yeah, Texas is the daddy.
They were the daddy.
Firm
and
daddy.
then some.
Yeah.
Yeah. This goes back to our prior chat when we were saying we could take this show literally on the road. The rookie chimes in and says, 4 weirdos in a creeper van going to Miami. What could go wrong? Owanek is nodding his head in approval of that. Slight weirdos.
I mean, lots of things go wrong. We don't need to get into the details right now. That's for maybe a later night show. With the when the kids aren't listening.
I do feel good if we have like a flat or something though that we've got Tommy.
Oh, I'm not worried at all.
Like I don't trust Dusty with something like that, but I feel good that we've got you there.
Not worried at all.
I can be responsible.
Yeah.
Keyword is can.
Yeah, no, but even there's at least someone that has an idea of what they're doing, right, with us for that sense.
Yeah.
That's important.
Touche.
If you weren't there, I'd have a lot of concerns about us when it comes to the vehicle.
Rob Black's texting me.
Is he?
He wants
to get on. Well,
he's pawing at the ground.
Okay. Well, we'll get Rod on here, but first we've got to get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric.
NFL Week 2 kicking off last night. The Eagles improving to 2-0, 34-28 over the visiting Vikings. Minnesota falling to 0-2. Of course, you can join me every Monday and Thursday at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road. Food, drink specials, and your chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to L.A. to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. Rangers sweeping aside the Jays 9-2 last night. They take that 4-game set by a combined score 35-9. 35-9. Jays a game and a half back of Seattle for the third and final wild card spot. They'll host Boston tonight to kick off a 3-game series. Seattle, meanwhile, will play host to the Dodgers over the weekend. Week 15 in the Canadian Football League gets underway tonight with a doubleheader. Elks and Riders from Regina kick off 7:30. Action begins out east at 5 when the Alouettes welcome in the 10-1 Argonauts. U of A Golden Bears football team will look to improve to 3-0 on the road tonight. They're in Saskatoon to take on a 2-0 Husky squad. Kickoff 7 o'clock. You can catch this game live on TELUS TV. Hockey, Oilers, Young Guns tournament in Penticton tonight. Puck drops on that, says the Oilers will take on the Jets. And the Oil Kings preseason schedule, that wraps up this weekend up in Grand Canche with a pair of games against the Prince George Cougars. This sports update is brought to you by the staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Mitch knows that being a businessman and a father means responsibility, not just for your main family, but also the secret one in Norway that nobody knows about.
Shop.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week one, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have, and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielson. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
To the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola in for Dusty. He'll be calling the Elks Riders game tonight. Lieutenant Eric with you along for the ride as always. And so too is Matthew Awanek. You can text us at the Paris Jewelers inbox. Paris Jewelers proudly provides an extensive selection of engagement rings, including a lab-created set of diamonds where you could get a 2-carat highest quality ring for under $8,000. We provide custom designs as well as Craft Your Carat, which is our online tool for building your own dream ring from start to finish. So there you go. We're inside the Popeyes studio. And our next guest is a legend. I'm very excited about this. When I requested that we get this man on today, you delivered.
You're in the host seat, and it would only be natural to have our next guest.
Oh, it is Rod Black, the broadcast legend. Rod, so great to catch up with you. Thank you for coming on today.
Boys.
What the heck have you been doing, Rod?
Boys, I've been eating Popeyes. That's what I've been doing.
Yes.
What have I been doing? I've been busy, guys. I've been working on a lot of projects, a couple of books, doing some broadcasting, something I happen to do time to time. I love still doing that. A lot of people still ask me, hey, how's retirement going? Dude, you guys know that you never retire.
This train don't stop.
I'm on Freedom 95, and it's going great. And Eric and Tom, it's great to hear from you guys. It's good to see you guys back up. I missed you when everything kind of unfolded there. It was just I went into a little mini depression. I hadn't talked to you guys in a while, but now I am. So it's all good in the hood.
I love it, Rod. You know what? We love having you on, and I do especially. So big thank you to Eric and to yourself for hopping on. Okay, I want to ask you this: have you been spending any time in Nashville? Watching Tyler play AAA ball. That's a big deal. He got called up last month, and I'm looking at his numbers, Rod, and they're pretty good for a guy getting his first taste of AAA ball. What's it like watching your son like on the cusp of MLB baseball?
Yeah. If he wasn't with such a good team that was contending right now, he'd probably be in the show, but he still can have a chance, I guess, to get called up in late September. We'll see. But it's been fun. I actually went to, it's funny you said that. My wife and I visited him and watched him last weekend in Nashville, which, have you guys ever been to Nashville?
Many times, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so I spent 3 days and 7 nights there, and it was fantastic. That place, you know what I like to say? I like to tell you everything, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, the place is... Nashville is, they do say it's like one of the most popular tourist destinations. I've done games out of there before. I did a Titans game a few years ago, and I've done some college stuff and some Preds stuff, but I never really spent in the hockey tonks. And, you guys being out in Alberta, everybody kind of, I think when they hear the name Nashville, they automatically think country music. And there's great country music, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and like I said, all the honky tonks, and there, obviously tons of cowboy hats and boots, but it is Music City.
Yes.
Every type of music. It's unbelievable. It's also, if you're a single guy, and not that I am, nor do I want to be, but if you're a single guy and you go down there, there's a good chance that you're going to run into some bridal party.
Yes.
Because it is the capital of stagettes, and I guess stags as well. But it's an incredible city, and the bottom line, I guess, is baseball, and what an organization, what a stadium. They got this beautiful scoreboard that, just look it up, I think it's called First Horizon Park, and they got this scoreboard that is in the shape of a guitar, of course, and it might have the best sound system I've ever heard in any professional sports venue. So we went down last weekend. He had a big week last week. I think he was the player of the week in the organization, and he's the 3 H's right now. He's honored, he's happy, and most of all, he's healthy. So
nice.
Just keep playing, boy. That's all you got to do.
That's so cool that he's getting the look at AAA ball, and we look forward to see him in a Brewers uniform at some point. And Lieutenant Eric's wearing his Riverhawks hat, and we're looking forward to getting our Nashville Sounds hats. And
exactly.
swag.
I was waiting for you guys.
I got you. Hey, listen. Now again, I had all this gear. Now you guys, I guess you guys probably have new addresses.
Yeah,
as we all have in this business. One thing in this business, don't buy a house or sign an extended lease. So that's how it works. But give me your address, even if it's a post office. I got to send you also. Earlier this year, I was down in Biloxi, Mississippi. Because Ty was playing double-A ball down in with a team called the Shuckers. Don't say that too fast on the air.
Oh, it's so cool. Do you have something for?
No, I mean, I just look forward to the merch, Rod. We'll send you the address after the hit.
I got your merch, boys. Yeah, you please send me.
We got the update on your boy. Can you tell us a little bit what you're doing? I know Canadian Elite Basketball League, you've had a strong hand in that over the years. Where can we see Rod Black coming up next? What's new on the horizon? Anything we don't know about yet that you would care to divulge?
Well, there is a rock, paper, and scissors tournament that I'm doing this weekend. I'm also doing a bar mitzvah on Saturday, and then I'm looking forward to the World Pickleball Championships, which actually that sounds legit. No,
that is.
I'm doing one of the beauties of being a freelancer is you can freelance. So I'll be doing some games down south in October. I got some college stuff that I'm going to do. I'm doing boxing in Toronto tomorrow. Some boxing in Toronto, and yes, I loved the CEBL. Shout out Reed Clark and the gang there and the Stingers, and it was fantastic that the league, the way it's going with 10 teams now, maybe more. Anybody who hasn't visited and watched the CEBL, they got to watch some more CEBL because it's a growing league, and it's just going to get better.
Broadcaster extraordinaire Rod Black joining us here on the Nielsen Show on Edmonton Sports Talk. You know what? We've talked enough about the Jays, Rod, and them getting absolutely pummeled over the last few days by Texas. So let's go to a positive story in the Greater Toronto.
I will tell you, though.
Okay.
I will tell you what I've seen.
Yes.
And I think it goes back to what we talked about before, is that this team still is very much in it, by the way, guys. There's 15 games left. And, it is a bit of a slump, and I'm not a homer, and I'm not really from Toronto myself, but being a longtime Blue Jay broadcaster, you follow this team so much.
Yep.
I always believe that baseball, you are your number. You become your number in baseball. Whatever it is, if you're a 280 hitter, 20 bombs, that's what you are. If you're a pitcher who strikes out 18 in a season and walks 88, that's what you are. And the Blue Jays right now, their record, I believe, is exactly where they should be, kind of hovering. They're not an elite team by any stretch. They were very overhyped at the beginning of the season. We talked about that. They're very overhyped. I'll lay that on their owner and their parent company because they overhyped them like crazy. You don't see that much in other teams. I mean, you can't be calling yourself a championship contender because other teams watch that even on opening night. But they're decent, they're good, and they can go on a run. The problem has been injuries. The problem has been inconsistency, and their superstars have been not super for most of the season.
Yeah.
And when you do that, and here's the other one, they play well against teams under 500, and they don't play so well against teams over 500. And so they've got to stop that right now. They got to put the brakes on that. They put the skids on that. Again, they're only a game and a half out. That can be made up quickly. With 15 to go. Problem is, Seattle's really good. Texas, as you saw, they're very good. And they also have to beat, as you guys know, those two teams, whoever is ahead of them, they have to beat them by a game because those teams own that tiebreaker. Do I think they're done yet? I wouldn't say they're done. Give me a few more days before we actually put them in the toaster. But it's baseball. Baseball's crazy, cruel game, as we saw a year ago in the fall when they played against the Seattle Mariners and absolutely melted in the playoffs. I don't think anything could be as bad as what we saw last October, but it's starting to crumble a little bit here, and body parts are starting to shrink. You can see it in the players' faces as well.
That series was demoralizing, and then not being able to beat teams that are better than 500, I think is a bad sign as well. Here, a positive note, Rod, as we head into Week 15 of the CFL season. I mean, the Argos are just on cruise control right now, kicking butt. What do you make of that? We asked Marshall Ferguson a little bit about this and his opinion on it, but has it awoken the CFL fan that's been in a deep slumber in the GTA, or what are you seeing?
Let's hope so. very close with pinball. Michael Clemens, future Prime Minister of Canada, we hope. Yes, right, yes, yeah, right, yes. No, I don't want to take a pay cut. I would say it's been lukewarm, still a little. They got to start getting it bubbling a little bit. The problem in Toronto, of course, is in the summertime, the city is, and with the Blue Jays when they were hot, everybody was going to those games. And right now, Pinball had his golf tournament the other day for his foundation, and Jack Armstrong was there, and Sherman Hamilton and Paul Jones and Carlo Koliakovo, and we're all having this little broadcast panel, and everybody's talking about the Blue Jays and what the Leafs are going to do. And I said, hey, the best team in this city, the most successful team, and people should be going, is the Toronto Argos.
Yep.
10-1, they're defending Grey Cup champions. But guys, it's still a tough sale. In the city, it's still a tough ticket. But I do find that things are starting to change. I've always said, get the kids. If you can get the kids, you're going to get the parents.
Yep. And
I'm noticing a few more kids at the games. I will say after Labor Day, they start to come a little more. I think the schedule is better, or when families can come. And also now with the Blue Jays in a bit of a swoon, we might see a spike in ticket sales. But if people are are not going to Argo games, they're missing a lot here in the GTA. And if you can't get people out to watch a 10-1 defending champion team, I'm not so sure what you can do beyond give away Bitcoin. Well, don't give away Bitcoin. I'm not. But having said that, I mean, they're good. They're really good. Ryan Dinwiddie's done a great job. Chad Kelly has been an absolute revelation. I love Javon Leake and what he has done.
Yep.
And you got to really credit Pinball Clemens as a general manager. I mean, the guy just wins, you guys. He's a humble dude. He just wins, and he's done it as a player. He did it as a president. He's doing it as a GM. He did it as a coach. He just wins. He makes people believe. Having said that, anything can happen still. I mean, you know how it is. It's a one-gamer. They're one game away from really clinching his spot, clinching the East, and nobody else is going to touch them, I don't think, in the East. But one game, you lose your quarterback, or you lose somebody, or something goes wrong. It's kind of like baseball. And then, you look out west, the Blue Bombers, even though they're 10-3, they're still formidable. And hey, I did notice one correlation. The Edmonton Elks have been on a roll since you guys got back on the air.
They have.
Wow. Yeah.
How about that?
Can't ignore those numbers.
That is what they needed.
How about the quarterback situation for the Elks? What do you make of Trey Ford?
So I've watched him for a few years now, and I will tell you, I saw him play in I still don't get the U Sports. I still call it CIS. But I watched him, and you don't see it happen very often. I mean, clearly they saw something in him, and so I credit the scouting department in that. He's a little wide-eyed at times. He's a little frantic. But hey, what a great story. What an amazing story. And, we've always talked about Canadian quarterbacks in the CFL. Who would have ever thought? And, hey, he continues to write the story. So we shall see. It's still an open book. Hey, at least you're getting some wins, and that's the main thing. And it was looking very, very bleak and very dire in your city for a while with that football team. And I still call it the City of Champions. And I'm not because I'm sucking up to you or to your listeners. Okay, I am. But anyway.
I think they like it. Rod, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for hopping on this morning. And if you make your way back to Edmonton, we'd also love to have you on the EST Hangout. I think you'd love that.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to see you guys. Say hi to everybody, and we'll see you down the road. Send me those addresses. I will definitely send you some Alexi Shuckers and some Nashville Sounds gear. I think I've got some half-eaten hot dogs left still, so that'll work.
Eric loves those. Rod,
send him on.
Yeah, send them. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. Be well.
Thanks, Rod.
Cheers. Have a great one, guys. Bye.
That is the man, the myth, the legend, Rod Black.
Now we're back.
And we're back.
Now this is now good.
Now it's back to being the Nielson
Black,
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and
it's all good now.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah.
Like a healing process.
And an interesting metric with the Elks and us, right?
Yeah.
Funny how those line up.
He brought that up. Pat in the country, or in the county, as he puts it, via the nasty chat says, what a beauty. Any chance we can add Rod to the beauty list? What say you, Lieutenant Eric and T Biscuit? I say yes.
Well, I would vote. He's got my vote.
Yeah,
it goes to Dustin Nielson, I guess, as the veto or whatever. But
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
we'll have to run that by him. I think if Rod sends a bit of that AA, AAA gear here, that'll increase his
boost
chances.
him up.
Yeah,
I know we bug him. It's like an ongoing running gag.
it's
Kinda
not
like
for
the
me. I
Tim
really
Hauraney
want
thing.
it, though.
Yes.
If he thinks it's a joke, it's not a joke. Like
You'll cry if you
I'm
want
going to text him the address.
Yep.
It'll be sent to
Please
the
do.
Russian spa, and they can bring it up.
Well, they have no use for it.
Ball merch here, boxes of half-eaten hot dogs. And
This hot dog's gone bad. My goodness. All right. Let's get serious here. Focus.
text.
Text us at the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. We've got Kinda Easy Trivia coming up next. You can win a GC to Mr. Mike. So text us. Matty Owanek will pick who will be our contestant today. And then we've also got 3 questions too many from Park Mazda.
Text, I want to play to 780-218-9999. I want to play, and Matt might give you a call.
Matthew, choose me. You can add that in there, and we'll call you, and you'll play for that Mr. Mike's gift card. And then if you have any questions for 3 questions too many, hit us up. You're listening to The Nielsen Show, or you're watching it right here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Lieutenant Eric. only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.803 in Edmonton. Good morning. Hope you're doing well on this Friday. You're listening or watching The Nielson Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola in for the big man. He is calling the Elks Riders game tonight. Lieutenant Eric here as always. Matthew Hauraney making sure everything's running smoothly. And you can text us, join the conversation via the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, or you can chime in via the nasty chat on the YouTube feed. We do need to get to kind of easy trivia and 3 questions too many. Where's the kind of easy trivia? You got the sort of liner for kind of easy trivia? Do I have it? It's for Mr. Mike's, as always.
Casual.
Casual. Thank you.
Casual.
It's
Very
been 3
casual.
months since I've done this show.
Lean back when you read it. It's casual. You know?
It's casual. Mr. Mike's, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave, Mark Messier Trail. The Sirloin Bites. Sirloin Bites to die for.
By June.
Brand new location now in Fort Sask as well. Classic Mike Burger. Get it. Eat it. It's delicious.
We should fly in some sirloin bites for the morning. Especially when it's just the 3 of us or something.
Yeah.
Right?
They're very
Mike
good.
would do
Remember I
that.
picked them up a few weeks ago before we launched?
Yeah. Delicious.
We need to try these.
Delicious.
The dip. So good. Chris is on the line. He'll be playing Kinda Easy Trivia. $25 GC to Mr. Mike's on the line. Good morning, Chris. How you doing, man?
Morning, guys.
You ready to do this thing?
Let's do it.
All right. LTE, like old times. You ready to go?
We're ready.
All right, Chris. Did the Blue Jays lose again last night?
Unfortunately, yes.
Who do the Elks play tonight?
Rough Riders.
True or false, the Oilers rookies face the Jets rookies in Penticton tonight?
False.
What position does Trey Ford play?
Quarterback.
Rod Black's son plays which sport professionally?
Baseball. He's awesome.
Chris!
Oh, yeah. You're going to Mr. Mike's.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year, we took it to the limit. Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Huge congratulations to Chris. Very good. 4 out of 5. The Oilers rookies do face the Jets rookies in Penticton tonight. That one, 6 o'clock. You can watch it on Oilers Plus. Did you say you're getting sirloin?
I wanted, I don't know. I just, I had that smoked brisket cheesesteak last night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. And you know how you do when it fills you up. Then you go to bed, and then you sleep, and then you wake up, and you're breaking the fast, right? And I'm not usually a breakfast guy, but I'm really, really hungry today, and I just thought a good plate of sirloin bites would go well with the Sobeys Beer of the Week. I tried to look at Mr. Mike's now, but they're not open until 11, and I can't schedule a I can't make a
wanted to order some.
I want to do it now. I even wanted to put in the order now, and I wouldn't care if they delivered it at 11, so I have it here. I'll wait.
It's ready to go. I know it's not confession.
It's Friday,
It's Friday.
Hungry.
But I confess, I like when you guys say sirloin. And
You
I'm
can't
a little
say it
bit
properly
envious.
anymore. And when you go and order,
know.
say it like that too. They'll know.
And I hear you guys say it, and I'm a little envious. So I apologize if I'm using it too much. But they are delicious, and it's fun to say it that way. We need to get to 3 questions to many. I want to read this one by Kyle the Embalmer. It says, do we have a return to kind of Tommy trivia? I hope not.
That was very, very smooth
Thank
today.
you.
Although you were kind of educating yourself off the air, right? In the hey.
Now you're back to being the needler.
Now he's.
I didn't say anything there.
I saw your gesture.
I wasn't on the air. That's only for you guys.
Rude.
I didn't say anything.
Ouch, man.
I didn't say anything.
Ouch.
We have a produced spot for this.
Oh my God.
Why am I looking at that?
Wait, why are you slowing down? Frank? No way. Frank?
Hey, honey. Hey.
What on earth are you doing?
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing.
Now.
Okay. Lease the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90 inline 6 turbo or plug-in hybrid to have room for absolutely everybody with its third row seating. Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road. Park Mazda.
Love it. Beautiful.
That's obviously a take off of the classic Animal House.
That would be it.
I'm kidding.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Of course, 3 questions
right.
too many. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda.
Thank you.
And Mitch Lewicki, his body is like a day-old rice. If it ain't warmed up properly, something real bad could happen. They got a...
That's good.
I know they employ a writer for these, but
yes.
maybe they're on strike with that Hollywood thing. Hey?
Oh, that's right. But they're still pretty clever.
Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. At Tom Gazzola. 2 Z's, not Z's.
You got Maddie. You got Maddie in stitches. It's great. It's like a studio audience here. It's awesome.
I just love that. Are you on Twitter? It's like,
yes.
Just the delivery of all
I don't
that
know.
was just wonderful.
I don't know. Right?
I want to enjoy my Friday, Matthew.
Maybe I'm just... Oh, there's nothing with you. It's just the way he worded. Yeah. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
You were right one day that, like, the mornings, you start laughing at things.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
More than you generally would.
Yeah, and then you hit a real low, and then you're back up again, and the whole body clocks off. Yes, I'm on Twitter as well, Tom. Thanks for asking. At Lieutenant_Eric. It's easy to get him.
He's really laughing.
Yeah, like
now.
he's a morning rook. Wow. It's great because you kind of.
Did you have one of those gummies already?
It's a good way to start the day. Hey.
Yeah, fantastic. We're flying here.
Yeah. Couple of texts here as well. Listening to the Club 8 loop, it made me think you should get the legendary Rick Pinter on the EST Hangout. He would be awesome. And getting serious here, I think that's a name we could put on the docket, and he'd be glad to join us. Old Renee's dad. That you weren't at the AM Nasty Bash.
No.
It was unveiled. Renee's father.
Someone asked me yesterday, I went to the Action Electrical 50th anniversary, saw Damon Bunting, one of our fine partners here at Edmonton Sports Talk, and someone came out to me and they're like, I actually wore a Lieutenant Eric name
What's
tag
going on there?
too.
Why? Did you choose to do that, or was
When
there
I
one
got
there? Was I
there-
supposed to be there and I didn't?
No, when I got there, the guys at the door, they're like, hey, everyone's doing a name tag. You should put a fake name on there. Everyone's doing it. So I put Lieutenant Eric. And I go around and everyone has their full names on their name tags and their real names. And I'm like, oh, I feel like such an idiot. And someone asked me, I guess we'll never find out who Renee's father is. And I was like, we know who it is.
Did you educated them?
Rick Pinter.
Good. I'm glad you.
And they're like, oh. And then I think we have a new Edmonton Sports Talk fan too.
Well, if you're ready, I will be quizzing you with the 3 questions too many here, Tom. We're going to start with a bit of a wiffle ball, a change-up, I guess. Texas, Seattle, Toronto, all competing for 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the lone team out? Now, look, Today is September 15th. It's easy to say the Toronto Blue Jays.
Right.
However, you go a week back, as Rod said, bit of rope left in the season. Now, they don't particularly, as we all know, do well against good teams. And even if they do, by somehow manage to make a wild card, I don't give them too much hope in a post. But
yeah,
I guess the question is, again, out of the 3, who are the 2 that are making it, and which is the team that's the lone one out?
Can I be boring and just say the Jays?
I don't know.
To me, the problem is that record against teams that are over 500. That is such
and
a
the AL
detriment.
as well. They're not.
Yeah, exactly. And the way they got absolutely crushed by the Rangers, and Seattle has been pretty consistent all year. I'm sorry. Like, the Jays are a letdown, and I think that'll continue.
The Jays have, and they'll start a weekend series the Red Sox tonight, who, again, if you're looking, again, teams above them or below them,
right?
You should say, okay, they should be taking this Red Sox series. I know, 2 of 3 through, right?
Should.
Then they got the Yankees.
Should.
Matt earmuffs, but again, should, right?
Yeah.
So this is a 6-game that you should be getting some of them. Then you get the Rays, and that's tough ball. I get that. So you're kind of, you see that. Then they're back with the Yankees again, and they finish the season 3 games with the Rays. So you've got 3, 6, 9. You can do some work there.
Yeah.
It's not totally out. I mean, you look at their schedule, and again, playing the good teams and bad teams. So who knows, right? And especially over the next 6.
Okay. Are they so embarrassed? And shamed from what they just did.
It's demoralizing what happened.
Yeah. That they bounce back with vigor, or do they just slump their shoulders and, do okay against the Red Sox, but not enough?
Texas was one, too, that was leading that division, and then just kind of Houston went up there. I'm going to say Texas are out.
Really?
Just to be different. I'm going to be wrong.
No, I get that.
I'm going to be wrong,
that.
but I'm just saying it for the spirit of what we're doing here. I can't say Seattle because they've been heating up all season.
Yep.
Question number 2, I'm getting a brand new washing machine delivered to my house right now.
Great.
We are live, and that's happening right now. My wife is accepting it, and hopefully the move all goes well. I'm sweating because I want to be. You want to be
You're
there.
excited.
I want to be there. I want to
important.
see. I don't want any scratches or dings.
As a homeowner, I understand this sentiment.
Thank you. What is one household appliance? Now you're a condo guy. I think we're kind of in the same boat. What is one household appliance that you absolutely could not live without?
Ooh.
And you can go anywhere with this.
Yeah.
You don't need to look at the big ones or anything.
I'll go with an obscure one. I just picked this thing up and I love it. The Swiffer Wet Jet. Does that count? Like this is off. I mean, judges.
It doesn't really seem like an appliance.
I know. Okay,
kind of the
fine.
terminology is a little. I'm talking like a fridge or a washer dryer.
Well,
I mean,
I hate washing dishes, so a dishwasher.
But you're like a young guy about town. Maybe you don't even need a fridge,
Not
right?
even
Like you
young.
don't.
We're not
Why
young
would you need a
anymore.
fridge? You go out to eat.
Right now, if you looked in my fridge, you'd be like, really?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So why would you need to plug one in and run it all the time?
But
You
a
could probably-
dishwasher, I do use.
The
your
dishwasher.
utensils.
That's
it's a clutch.
So you don't wash again.
I
lone
do.
Guy,
I have one of the scrubs with the soap in it.
How many dishes do you go through? I don't think you'd need a.
I don't know.
You'd run that thing once a month, maybe.
No. You bring home the food. A lot of takeout and stuff like that. And
You can go without a dryer. You can hang clothes, right? Like
yeah,
that's-
you can hang them.
You can.
Yes,
You can
absolutely.
get away
You don't
with
want
it.
them to shrink. How detrimental
AC?
has it been to not have the washer? Right.
It's almost been like
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spare you the details, but we got this thing coming today. It's been a mess.
Yeah.
It's been a hassle. You slop. You're eating at home. You're eating it slops, and you're like, oh. And before in the good old days, I could say, oh, straight to the washing machine. Can't do that anymore. You gotta buy a Tide pen and try to scribble it out. And I hope this is okay. And then you gotta pay for taking the laundry out. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I did one load. Won't do that again. But just to get me through. Went back home to Saskatoon last weekend. My mom brought a load of clothes for her to do again. It's like you're in college all over again. Very embarrassing with my wife there as well. It's the washing machine for me. I've learned that firsthand now.
It's huge.
Terrible. Yeah.
But this is good news.
This is great news.
Yeah.
And hopefully the move is going good. I'm
Okay.
getting minute-to-minute updates. I'm sweating here. Hopefully it's brought in, installed properly, and they take the problem with the old one is it's filled with water. Like it never drained properly. So this thing weighs like a ton. I don't know how they're going to get it out of the basement. Maybe I don't want to know the details. You know what I'm saying? Just get it out, put the new one in, and away we go.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What or who are you most excited about for the Young Stars tournament from an Edmonton Oilers point of view? Now, because we've said, the prospect, it's a window, right? They're winning, and that's you shouldn't be too excited about this stuff if you're competing for a cup.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of things, who or what are you looking at?
I think it's important to watch, for me, where Xavier Bourgault is. Like, has he taken a step forward? Will he be a leader on this team throughout this tournament and mini rookie camp? And then how does that carry over into the main training camp? Because now he's going into his second full year. This is one of the few first-round picks that you got in the system. And in theory, he should be showing some growth, and he should be a leader on this team. So in this Penticton rookie tournament, the Young Stars Classic, I would look at him and go, where are we at? Are you a leader on this team? Are you showing signs that you're making progress towards finally competing for a roster spot maybe a year or two down the road? So I'll go with Bourgault. It's an easy answer, but I think it's a logical one.
No, not for me. Former Moose Jaw Warrior Maximus Warner.
A lot of people are curious about him.
Yeah, and the name. I mean, the name jumps off the page. I kind of say it in jest, but no. I again with the, shall we say? I mean, you got Bourgault, and then you're kind of whatever. I think he's another name. You kind of a second level.
Yeah,
just below.
Petrov is another one that you're like, oh, what do they have here? Because I know they're high on Petrov, but it's going to take some time. So Warner, a lot of people wondering how he's going to be.
Like we always, Young Stars was such a, because this team was made of young stars at one point, and this was like a tournament. This was like almost regular season, but just give me the regular, We still have to go through preseason here, Tom.
It's going to be exciting for the first 5 days, but at least we are 9 days away from the first preseason game.
But I don't even want that. Get me to the regular season.
You
know what I'm saying? Just get to the stuff. Get to the stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Just give me game 1 of the playoffs.
Well,
come on, Matthew.
Trade deadline.
The regular season doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Exactly.
They're at that point now where it's okay. What are they going to do in the playoffs? If we're having another conversation in December, January, but oh boy, what's going on? Like they always do. Then there's problems again. But this team is good enough. They're a top team in the West. It's about playoffs. This is just get through
straight
82
to the dessert
games,
bar,
stay as healthy as possible through those 82. I don't even care how the goalies do through those 82 because it matters only in the playoffs, not even the regular season.
Right.
Stuart Skinner had a really good season last year, and then playoffs came and
Harsh
came
lessons.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, even then, it doesn't even matter how well you're playing going into the playoffs because we've seen just last year that it changes. So, get me to game 1 of the playoffs.
I get that. I enjoy the roller coaster ride of the 82 game.
Well, because you're living it front row both pre and post game, right?
Then you get those streaks where they're playing poorly and people want to complain about them, and then they take a step back and they're like, "This is still a good team." I don't know why, but I enjoy that part of it.
You love being toyed with like that.
Torture myself.
Yeah, the torture. It's the torture. You can't get enough.
Now, you just like the 82 games, or you like when there's actual dips?
I just like.
When
I'm
they're
not
playing
rooting for dips. I'm just like, I just enjoy the ride.
Okay. That's what I just was.
Live in the now, I guess.
And a lot of people do. And then some people say seeding matters and stuff. But even the Oilers are good enough that it doesn't matter who they play. They'll get the win. They're good enough to go get that win. They shouldn't be scared of anyone. Then who cares who they're seeding?
Right. Now, I don't want to see them be overconfident because that can catch up with them sometimes. But you're right. I get it.
Boys, the washer is out.
Oh, baby.
They got it out. That's the big thing.
And no water spilt?
I didn't ask for details. It's
didn't
gone.
say anything, so you're good.
If you're listening to the guys moving the old washer out and installing the new one, what you want to do is lift from the back and really snap it.
Quick. Yeah,
just snap the back.
Yeah. Man, I'm feeling good.
And then your WCB claim will be promptly taken care of.
What are you washing first?
Betting.
That's important.
I mean, the guest bet. I have so much. That thing will be running all weekend long, all night.
That is a very exciting appliance.
I can't explain how.
People that
Thank
are
you
younger
for sharing this with me.
you guys are idiots,
it's a
but
big day.
Your day will come where you're like, damn, that is a fine washer and dryer combo.
I've arrived. Is Scott here?
Yes, you have. Scott is here.
Let's
Redbeard. He
go.
brought
Let's
a flat of beer. There. Oh, hello, Scott. We've got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week on the way next. But first, a sports rewind with LTE.
Week 15 of the Canadian Football League kicking off tonight with a doubleheader on TSN. Elks visit the Riders. Kickoff 7:30. It is the latter game as action will begin at 5. With the Alouettes hosting the 10-1 Argos. U of A Golden Bears football team. They'll look to improve to 3-0 tonight. They're on the road to take on a 2-0 Husky squad in Saskatoon. Kickoff 7 o'clock on TELUS TV. Last night in the NFL, Week 2 getting underway. The Eagles improving to 2-0. They defeat the Vikings 34-28, dropping Minnesota to 0-2. You can join me for every Monday and Thursday nighter during the season at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road. Food and drink specials and a chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to see the Rams and Browns. The Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. The Toronto Blue Jays licking their wounds. They get swept aside by the Rangers in a 4-game set. 9-2 last night, making your final. They were outscored in this series 35-9. The Jays a game and a half back of Seattle for the final wild card spot. They'll host Boston tonight to kick off a 3-game series. Seattle will play host to the Dodgers over the weekend. Over to hockey, Oilers open the Young Guns tournament tonight in Penticton against the Jets, while the Oil Kings will wrap up their preseason schedule with a pair of games against the Cougars beginning tonight out in Grand Cache.
Lock Shop
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week one, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have, and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielson. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.27. Good morning. It's the Nielson Show. Gazzola in for Dusty, Lieutenant Eric, and old Redbeard himself, Scott Laurie, in studio, the Popeyes studio. Of course, pick up a 6-piece sweet and spicy wing set for $10.49, or you get the combo. That's 6 pieces of sweet and spicy wings, plus a regular side and a medium drink. That's $12.99, and then you go for the platter, like Eric always does. Scott, you get the platter, $14.99. You get those 6 pieces of sweet and spicy wings, 2 regular sides. I say mac and cheese. He says mashed potatoes with gravy, and a large beverage.
I think I gotta go
go mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. I'm a supporter of the mac and cheese. There's a Popeyes right by my parents' place. My kids love
Of course
chicken.
they do.
Like it's a no-brainer for us.
You know what I would get as a beverage on a Friday? A beer.
You can't go wrong.
No.
We're gonna try 4 really delicious ones. So there's got to be at least 3 that you're gonna be like, I need more of that. There's an IPA in here that is a really good IPA, but I know we're getting you there.
You are.
Yeah.
I admit it, and I don't mind the IPAs. So
good. So all 4.
I'm growing up, Scott.
Good. I know.
You're gonna hammer him here. Eh?
Here we go.
Your palate has to evolve, right? And not everybody. First time you drink an IPA, a lot of people, it's not what you. Not what you're expecting when you're used to drinking just ale, just
lagers, pills,
lagers,
Kolsch,
pills, exactly. So
yeah,
we're doing Common Crown today. So Common Crown out of Calgary. This was actually the 2020 Canadian Brewery of the Year. So they won multiple awards. It's a big deal for a brewery so young to win. I mean, they only started in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 brothers started brewing in their garage, kind of perfected recipes. And escalated pretty quick into the Brewery of the Year. So pretty exciting stuff. The actual beer of the week is a Hefeweizen, which we've had Hefeweizen before.
Yeah, I like Hefeweizen.
It's really good. $14.99. Buy 2 of them, you get 250 scene points. It is our scene 1-year anniversary, so there's scene points all over the place.
Happy anniversary!
Yeah,
yes,
it's a big deal.
Yeah,
celebrate.
Cheers to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, we're gonna try a blonde,
'Kay.
which is just delicious. We're going to try the Hefeweizen. We got a Journeyman IPA and then a Coppersmith Brown Ale, which was one of the ones that won gold that led to them being Brewery of the Year. So I'm going to try not to spill today. That's going to be my goal.
Listen, I was ready to look past what you did last week.
Hey, let's keep a good thing going.
Yeah, nobody's here to go run and get paper towels.
The mitt will sop it up if we need.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to touch the mitt apparently, so I'm just gonna leave it.
I'm scared of the mitt.
It is intimidating.
It does smell.
It's been passed around.
That's legit. That's
I'll give it a good wash
concern.
over the weekend.
With your new wash machine.
Exactly. We'll test that puppy out there. Yeah.
Right?
Just that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so this is the Brewmaster Blonde. So this is blonde beer, easy to drink blonde ale. Blonde ales to me are really, we talked last week about lawnmower beer.
I love when you use crushable. Now, I know we're trying to do this a little bit differently, and we do like to.
Try that way. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Okay, I just had my first sip.
I have no idea what we're doing here.
Sorry, I threw up right up my alley.
Yeah.
And I could drink about
the finish.
But that keeps you interested a bit, right?
That's the greatness of craft beer. With a citrus kick.
Smooth at the end.
Slight uniqueness. That you got to separate yourself a bit. You can't all be lawnmower beer,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone's got their own recipes. They've got their own signature style. Like a lot of times, you can start to taste some similarities in people's beers. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got their own style for sure. Great beer.
All right, what are we on to next?
So let's go with the actual beer of the week. This one is the Hefeweizen.
Okay.
So this one's 5%, and with any kind of Hefeweizen, you're going to get banana. You're going to get some spice to it.
Yes.
A lot of times you get a bit of clove. So they've got a certain taste profile.
But a mix, right? It's not just an equal across the board. Maybe sometimes one will be a little more banana, a little more clove, or whatever. Again, keeping that uniqueness in mind, I guess. Yeah.
It really depends on kind of the ingredients they're using, the hops,
the banana,
malts, the water.
Very evident, I feel.
You getting that?
Yeah.
Well, I find when you're gonna taste this, you're gonna get that spice, that really kind of nice, and it's not not a winter spice, not a pumpkin spice, but it's just that kind of spiciness.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm
not
looking
ready.
forward to getting that. You're not ready
for the
I'd rather have that over the
spice.
banana.
I'm not ready for pumpkin spice either.
No, please, let's wait.
Yeah, too early.
This summer. Okay, so this is the
we're gonna cheers.
Sure.
We're gonna cheers.
Okay, we're gonna
I messed
cheers.
it up. Okay.
And now we got to drink.
All right.
Okay. I think you were supposed to talk.
I did. Now I messed it up.
Okay.
No, Monica's laughing. Stop it. Stop it, Matthew.
The banana.
The banana.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. That's what I'm getting here.
Insane. And there's they don't add, they don't add banana to this.
Yeah, they're not chopping.
But it has that scent and a little bit of that taste.
It's that style of beer that comes forward, and it's not heavy in your mouth. There's no real tartness. There's no bitterness there.
I want that in a nice glass and just a nice kind of
Yeah.
Nice big sips type of thing.
I love Hefeweizen on tap. It's just got, when it gets poured with the right amount of carbonation and poured through all the way. And this beer, again, we're pouring into the little sample glasses. If you were going to pour this at home, kind of pour it out, and pour your beer fairly fast.
Let her breathe,
Let it breathe. Let it settle. Pour the rest into your glass so that all of the flavors really
Head is
start
good.
to come out. Yeah,
like a lot of head.
Yep.
If I suggested,
Come on.
clip it.
Come on.
Clip it. If I suggested that this is a lighter hef, would that be an appropriate way to describe it?
Yeah, I mean it's lighter on your palate. It's not heavy. It's 5% still, but yeah, you're not getting blasted. Your mouth isn't going. You're not.
Clip it.
You're not getting that overwhelming flavor that you can only have one of these. This one is light enough and flavorful enough.
It doesn't linger. I already want another. Like you're kind of.
I'm ready for more.
I hear what you mean
I'm
there.
ready for more.
Like I'm not full after 1.5 of these.
No.
Like some hefs.
Like some hefs, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now let's go. We're gonna go IPA here. You can see the color change here as we get a little bit.
I'm not intimidated by this.
I like it.
Right?
Don't be. This one is 6.5%. So we're kind of ramping up the alcohol.
What about now, Tom?
A little bit. Yeah. A bead of sweat on the right side.
We've been here before.
We have been here before.
Experienced here.
Yeah. Thank you.
So this one is still very much an easy drinking, and I find with all of their beers, they are all of them in their styles fairly easy drinking.
Okay.
So you're gonna get pine, mango.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that bitterness start to ramp up with this one, especially compared to the blonde and the hef. So
he's already going. Yes.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Here's what I'm getting.
Cheers.
It's smooth at the beginning. Okay. Smooth at the beginning, and actually, it doesn't have like a harsh, no bite to it like a lot of IPAs. I find this is, again, in context. I'm a guy that's Pill, Kolsch. I like crisp beers, but now I'm getting a little bit of the kick.
Yeah.
Like really late.
Yeah. It's almost a delayed palate burst.
Unlike the Hefeweizen, the lingering is taking place and still going down.
And that's that. You'll start to salivate kind of right back here.
Yeah.
Right in the back of your kind of your mouth there. It'll start to really kind of kick up, and that's that bitterness. That's the deliciousness of an IPA. Is the kind of complex flavors, the what it does to your palate.
But you're handling these beers like, again, you're picking up a case and. Again, this is to be enjoyed, to be poured properly, to sit, to admire, and kind of make love to the glass of beer in a sense. Well, you know what I mean?
There's a theme here.
There's a romanticism about it, I think.
There is, and I think that, whenever you try all these different local craft beers, they've all got a unique story. They've all got how they got there is all coming from different industries and coming from different walks of life. And I think all of that adds to the kind of the story, adds to the experience, and adds to, when you go into our stores and you just stand back and look at just the shelves and shelves of these local guys, and we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And we, every 2 or 3 weeks we're doing a new one, right? Like, so there's so many innovation. It's just a really exciting market. All this craft beer, and
again, a little overwhelming at times in a positive way. It's a lot to.
It can be. There's a lot.
Where do I go?
To taste. Yeah. And that's kind of why we like to do this in our flyer and on here, is that we're trying to take some of that mystery away.
Yep.
And make it really approachable for people, because it can be intimidating. Like
Dusty's learned a lot over the years. I know you. I speak for I have. Without this segment, I'd still be just give me a pill or a bow and away we go.
And those have their place too.
Yeah, absolute.
Like those have their place as well. I think it's good to mix in to expand what you're drinking.
Through 3.
Yeah.
If I'm off base with this, by all means, tell me. But I feel like the common theme with Common Crown is a smoothness.
Yeah.
It's just like smooth, and then the flavor profile. There's no bitterness. It doesn't hit you.
You're not
you
knocking
don't
you
go,
flat.
wow,
You're
what
not,
the heck is going on
making
here?
faces or such.
None of that. Everyone has been smooth to this point. So now where are we moving on to?
And it's no accident they won Brewery of the Year for Canada. And that's their recipes. They took their time. They kind of really worked on their recipes before they kind of launched these beers. So you're seeing the work they've put in in these beers. And no, I don't think you're off base at all. I think these are all beers that are very very drinkable.
Yeah.
And very indicative of the style as well. So.
Yeah, if I could just, we got a lot of in the nasty chat here on YouTube. If you are watching us, Ali LP, Common Crown's Hef is outstanding. Kevin Tangen says, in fairness to Tommy, he's usually just rolling out of bed right now, so maybe that's affecting your palate. I don't know.
I would be here by now.
Yeah, now you would. Christopher Morris, in my head, I always envisioned the boys drinking entire cans when on the AM.
That does happen.
Weird, but, I guess we could graduate to that now because we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's for a future episode, but this one, though, this might be my favorite.
So this one's for you.
I'm a brown ale guy,
The brown ale, so...
Cheers. I'll do this right, finally.
4.9%, so it's a lower alcohol brown ale. I'll just keep talking about it. Dark ale, bold, smooth.
Oh, smooth for sure.
Smooth for sure.
Again.
Warm hug. Again, we talk about these beers. They are delicious.
Perhaps a sweater in the morning type of beer.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to move that right over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
He's going to be enjoying that.
Yeah, the brown ale is a really nice style of beer.
I love the ales, the brown ales especially. This has a bit of a coffee. I can kind of, just a slight. This is good. This is the one.
Yeah.
I'm all for this one.
Little coffee, little chocolate.
But not too much.
Nope.
I don't like chocolate beers, but...
Nope.
But it's not hitting you in the face, Tom, as you said. Yeah,
it's not a chocolate beer.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a brown.
Yeah.
It's a brown ale.
Yeah.
And whenever I drink a brown ale, brown ale was one of the first styles that I kind of went to after getting into craft beer because it really was kind of that. You get a balance of malt and a balance of kind of that coffee, which I like, that flavoring. They're really good beers. And again, $14.99. For 4-pack of Tall Boys. It's a really good price for again, a really established, really, really good brewery in Common Crown out of Calgary. They make great beers. And like I said, the Hefeweizen.
You pick up a couple of these.
Hey,
it's
Scott
awesome.
Laurie, always a pleasure. Old Redbeard himself. Common Crown is the beer. That is the beer of the week.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Plus anniversary.
Do we have a GC to give away as well?
We will be,
Yeah,
that's
we
okay. We'll eventually get it going, but
let Maddie figure it.
Hop in and we'll give it to somebody.
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna bring another glass.
He's frozen out. He's not even. No, he's
locked in.
He's not. Are we good? Let's
Sure.
do an update here. Yeah.
Here we go.
I can do that. You guys are listening. Action beginning out east at 5. The Alouettes hosting the 10-1 Argos as well. Analyst TV. Last night, the Jays swept by the Rangers 9-2. Your final. Jays now a game and a half back of Seattle for that third and final wild card spot. They host Boston tonight to kick off a 3-game set. Week 2 in the NFL got underway last night. Eagles improving to 2-0 with a 34-28 home victory over the Vikings. Over to hockey, the Oilers open the Young Guns tournament in Penticton tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. Oil Kings preseason schedule concludes this weekend with a pair of games against the Cougars up in Grand Cache.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week 1, and then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly, and I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have, and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.47. It's the Nielsen Show here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Good morning. Tom Gazzola in for Dusty. He is on the call from Regina tonight. Elks taking on the Riders. Can the magic continue?
Game of the week in the CFL. Game of the week.
Yes. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that first game in the doubleheader tonight in Montreal, which faces the Argos, or features the Argos facing the Alouettes, that's probably an Argos victory.
But as Marshall said, though, like the Ticats are knocking on the door here.
Yeah, that's true.
And to get that second spot, I mean, they gotta bring it tonight.
It's been fun. It's good to be back on this show.
Yes. You've been here before.
Yes.
You've been on EST, Edmonton Sports Talk, the Hangout, obviously coming up next with Mark Majot and Derek Van Diest. Yeah.
DVD's on his way.
But no, it's good to have you back in this host role.
Yep.
Rod Black was back. We're back.
Tim Hauraney.
It's like I was wrapping up the weekly rankings of Power, and we got that knock on the door.
Hello.
And now we're back, and here we are.
Back. It feels so right.
In the Popeyes, Louisiana kitchen studio.
In our new studios. We got Marty there, making sure everything's good. Marty. He jiggled the cord. We saw that there was the interruption. It's all good now.
He's doing the best work. None of this happens without one Matthew Iwanek.
Yes. So Matthew, well job, sir.
Cheers. And we'll get you a beer glass for next.
Yes. And great to see Scott Lowry as well. And I enjoyed Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Time for the wrap-up.
It's the wrap-up for William Huff. They've wrapped the studio. So the grand finale, that was yesteryear.
It's the wrap-up now.
It's the wrap-up. And, again, Tom, what did you learn besides me getting a new washing machine this morning?
I learned that the Swiffer Wet Jet, as many have pointed out, is not an appliance.
It really isn't. I was kind of... I know you were giddy about this new purchase you had.
I'm very excited about it.
You were telling me
I
about
have hardwood floors now all over my new condo.
You got to the places that were really bugging you, right?
Yeah.
And
And I hit those spots, and I look at it now, and the light comes in via the big curtain wall windows. But
in the spirit of the question, it kind of...
I fumbled it. I learned that Common Crown is smooth beer all throughout. That's the common theme.
This brown ale.
It's very good.
I might be following me to the Hangout later on this morning as well.
Ooh.
We'll be kind of tag teaming this thing, hey?
Yes. Yeah. So Mark Majot and Derek Van Diest will be joining Matthew Iwanek, and then you and I, we'll split it an hour each kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll flip a coin here. See who kind of...
Whatever you want.
I don't really care.
I'm good with whatever.
It's been a good morning here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
This new format, 3 hours, it goes pretty quickly.
No fat.
All killer, no
You're
filler.
getting all the meat here, all the good stuff, the good red meat.
Brisket.
Text of the day for A&W? You got something to read there? A little. We're going to be giving away a $20 gift certificate. A&W.
Let me
give me the sheets.
Here, you can have the sheets. Here, this is how we do things.
You find a text and
I'll find
A&W.
a text.
The best part about A&W, and thanks again to my brother for bringing in the breakfast sandwiches and coffees yesterday as well. At A&W, you can start the morning off right with an organic fair trade coffee and an egger of your choice for just $5.49. Bacon and egger or sausage and egger. I guess you could double them up as well if you ask politely. On a seeded bun or English muffin, the choice is yours, but we know it'll be tasty either way. And to make matters even more delicious, this offer is available all day, but don't snooze on this deal. An egger and a coffee for only $5.49 is the limited time price available at participating A&W restaurants in Greater Edmonton. Tommy, $5.49 for an egger. Bacon and egger, sausage and egger, whatever you want, and a coffee. In this economy, it's a hell of a deal.
In this economy?
Kidding me.
I did pick a text of the day, but I get what this texter is going with here via the Paris Jewelers inbox, 218-9999. I think Matthew can appreciate this one. And it goes back to the Goonies conversation, which has lingered on.
Oh, boy.
No name on it, but I've picked it for text of the day. Goonies, when I saw it in the theaters, first run was awful and sucks even more with age. Maddie, do you approve of that? You haven't even seen Goonies.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to say it sucks because I've never seen it.
That is a hot take right there from that texter.
But
I if Dustin was here, that wouldn't have seen the light of day.
He wouldn't have read that.
Not at
It
all.
would have been deleted from
Much
the
less
system,
the
so
text
we
of the day.
couldn't
So
see
much
it.
less the text of the day.
Absolutely.
It's like a spiteful
I love it.
text of the day.
I love it. Yeah.
We're being spicy today.
When he's not here, the kids will play, right? Like that's we've
right.
always
Well,
kind
it's
of
boss is away.
And
You know, like that's what it is now. It's boss is gone. We're gonna have to have some fun around
We
here.
should put some booby traps or something.
do whatever
He's-
we
yeah,
want.
kinda-
I mean,
He's not here to
take his
stop
water
us. He
bottle.
can't do anything.
yeah, the four weirdos in a van headed to Miami for the F1 race was that's honorable mention material.
We're putting that on the board. Like that's the idea board is getting filled day by day.
We
but,
do have two whiteboards, three actually, in this office. Matthew has one. We've got the one that is no longer in use.
Oh, that one.
And then we have one in our conference board.
that one.
Right?
I forgot about that one.
Right?
But not in use yet.
Understandably
He'll
so.
be back.
It'll be back.
It'll be
He'll
back.
be back.
He'll be back.
It'll be back under a new headline, I would assume.
What are you watching tonight?
I will definitely be watching Whale in the Wolf live and in person at Starlight Room. Tickets still available. Go to their website to check things out. If you want to make your way down to Starlight, we'll all be there as they, celebrate the release of their new album.
It's gonna be
Envy.
fun. We haven't really gotten to a communal place since all of this are pulling our long hour days and not eating. But for all of us tonight, I think it'll be a good time to just kind of stretch out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And prior to that, I'll be watching Elks Riders.
Elks Riders, that's the second part of a CFL doubleheader tonight, of course, at 5. It's Alouettes and Argos. A big one out east, but also a big one out west between the Elks and Riders from Regina. U of A Golden Bears as well will be on TV tonight. The football team, they're looking to improve to 3-0. They're taking on another undefeated team in the U of S Huskies from Saskatoon. Kickoff in that one, 7 o'clock on TELUS TV. And the hockey, you can't forget about the hockey. Yeah, the Penticton Young Guns, Winnipeg Jets, Edmonton Oilers tonight, kicking off that tournament. Penticton, 5 o'clock, I believe, puck drop in that one. And the Oil Kings as well, wrapping up the preseason. That begins tonight out in Grand Cache. It's 1 of 2 against the Prince George Cougars over the weekend. So hockey's inching its way back, but we are full in the football. Like just in.
This is
the
best part
it's
of
fall.
All football.
Yeah, the pads, now under the lights gets a little maybe cooler in the evening. You get that crunch.
Yep.
And then the Blue Jays, of course.
Well, I guess. They did it to themselves.
Hey,
They did it to themselves.
I don't like to see people, or you don't hope for that.
No,
but I
you want
will
success.
sit back and chuckle a bit. I think I'm afforded that.
The Yankees fan over there in the corner is okay with what's happening.
As he should be. There's not much to talk about there, I don't think, hey?
Oh, Derek Van Diest back from Vegas.
Want to wrap up,
Are
Matty?
you hungover still?
Yeah.
No, he says he's good. Let's wrap it up.
Does it for us. Hang out next. Yeah, Derek Van Diest.
Yeah. Are you hanging out first, or
we'll flip that. You want to flip the mitt?
I can't touch that thing.
I'll flip the mitt. Call it. This is heads with the cats, and tails is the bottom. So,
Heads.
You're in.
What if I defer?
Oh, yeah. Well, you want me to go in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The Hangout coming up next right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It'll be Lieutenant Eric up first for the first hour with Matthew Iwanek, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, and our dear friend, Mark Majot. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for texting in, watching. All you nasties in the nasty chat, keep it coming, and have a great weekend if you need to go. Otherwise, keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the Hangout. Coming up next. Ciao for now.